high energy YouTube intro. What's going on, guys?
Oh my god, hey.
Click like and subscribe. The first subscriber will get 1000 NT, which is new Taiwanese dollars. No, I'm kidding. You won't get shit. Yeah, welcome to episode 6. I believe it is.
6?
Yep.
It's
Yes,
6
I think.
because you now are level 6.
Oh.
Ooh. How are you feeling? Are you feeling more confident?
Nope.
Nope.
Good.
Barely.
If our last session title doesn't tell you anything.
Oh yeah. Okay. Can start this off with quick rounds of introductions. I still haven't set up the podcast yet, but just in case, maybe in 2 weeks or something like that. Please, who are you? What do you do?
I am Greg. I am playing Eirik Spanner, a human artificer, and he's just a little bit crazy, and then yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Matt. I play Dr. Fiera. She is an arcanist looking into things that aren't really normal, trying to make some friends, trying to make some allies, and trying to make a better future, whether it wants to or not.
Yeah. How's that been going?
Horrible.
Okay, very nice.
Hello, I'm Skit, and I play Isarel Leafina, and I'm a high elf, and I'm trying to figure out a little bit how I can restore some of the things that I've learned and stuff, and also I like to apparently climb on people as a spider. So why not?
Hi, my name is Felicia. I play Arya. She's a high elf soul knife rogue. I'm more than just your average rogue. I am way more intelligent. Instead of sneaky sneak.
Dang, okay, straight up bragging. Not holding back. That's what I like to hear. And of course, I am everyone else. Yep, you hear it here first, boys and girls. I don't think. Well, okay, maybe I should mention this. I mentioned to the group recently there might not be an episode potentially next week. I'm trying to figure it out. Hopefully everything can work out. But I'll make it work. I'll definitely make it work.
Do you sound like Batman now?
No, then I would have to do my super deep voice, which I don't do because I always get winded when I do it. Yeah. I had to do a monologue with my other group, and Jesus Christ, holy shit. I was so dizzy after that. I was like, don't talk to me.
Take a break.
Yeah, maybe if you find a dragon or demon, maybe I can talk in that voice. But until then, I will save it. And with that, I don't think we have any special announcements to make. And we can just jump right into the intro, as per usual. Yes, now I have to meet myself, which will take ages again.
Freedom. Something that all men and women strive for. Because to be free is to live, and to live experience the world around you. A gift given to us, and surely one that you should cherish and not waste. But it makes us blind, for while we stare longingly into the sky, boundless and free, more often than not, we miss the very cliff that approaches right in front of us. One that will most certainly let us fall to our own demise. It's still we will go out of our way to challenge anything and anyone who would dare impede on our freedom, who would dare to even think about taking it away from us. We will wage wars, forget friends, and curse even our own siblings and parents in the name of freedom. We would even steal it away from other people just to keep it for ourselves. And suddenly, we have become consumed by our own fear of losing this freedom. And in the process, we have abandoned everything else. Maybe we aren't supposed to be free. Maybe there are things beyond us that we do not comprehend yet, that hold more value than freedom. I challenge thee, O humble listener. Dost thou truly know what is right? Or dost thou merely see thy own fabrication of a blissful world that is filled with ignorance?
They have started moving, sire. This soon already. I was hoping for at least 2 more days, but alright. There's the scouts to keep their eyes on them. And if anything changes in their movement, they should immediately pull back, understood? Now we'll have to just...
Are you sure this is a good idea, your fealty? I mean, there would be countless casualties, right?
In a world that challenges both conviction and mercy, ruthlessness is a necessary tool to be used in order to move forward. Unless you want to stay here until the end of ages, sacrifices have to be made.
Yes. I think it should have passed for everyone. If not, too bad. We're gonna start this off with a recap. You guys, in the pursuit of a stolen chrysalis, have decided to investigate the inner city steads and the surrounding area of where you've encountered a few thugs, petty thieves, as at least one of them calls himself. You encountered the Craggies, and that was your first lead. You kind of followed them, went to a tavern. Seems like all of this was kind of instigated or planned out, that you would go there and then kind of were baited by some kind of scheme where you then found out that they have either transported the chrysalis out or this whole thing was a ploy. You went back, talked with the Ministers of Defense and the Duke again to kind of exchange information. You found out that wasn't the only theft that was going on. Apparently a lot of thieves were active during the time of your meeting, but they couldn't see any immediate connections to them or of the locations or places that have where things were stolen, and they also didn't seem to know that anything valuable was stolen. So after that, you've kind of decided, after discussing that, since the power lines of the teleportation kind of chambers were cut, and the only way to be able to cut them was with a terra chrysalis, since the power lines are literally ingrained into the earth, and the only way to efficiently access them was to use a terra crystal. You presume that they probably used the terra crystals that they've stolen to get access to it, but with that information, you would know that it would be impossible for them to have left the city and then do this at the same time, unless they had 2 terra crystals. So you then decided, okay, probably it's more reasonable to look for the crystal inside of the city. So you took the help of the eagles and flew over the city and cast locate object twice, which you did. And as you were kind of flying over the copper market district, both of you got a ping. You went down, you followed into the streets. While you were flying, you also saw a big high storm incoming, probably today evening or maybe morning next day, depending which how fast this high storm is. And with that, you kind of were trying to figure out a way to go underground, since both of you who had the spell open felt a tag downwards. And while you were kind of looking around, Eirik, with keen eyes, as he was kind of looking at houses, instead noticed a tattoo that you haven't necessarily seen but have been described to on one shaggy individual who had a rat head that was biting his own tail, which was a symbol of the Craggies. You decided to follow them, kind of sneaking around a bit. You found out that it was their kind of HQ or hideout. Yeah, not an HQ, it's not really that big of a deal. And you were kind of planning how to get into it or approach this situation, and you decided just to notify the guards and then do another. It wasn't really a break-in, but just to kind of approach them, since the guards are allowed to just enter inside. It's a common occurrence since they are under surveillance of the guards. Went in, talked with one of the members who was kind of a dick. Arya, you recognize a lot of stuff going on inside of here. It was a sort of drug den. A lot of people who were inside of there have been under some kind of substance. They seem to be heavily scratching their arms, have kind of scars and wounds everywhere, and there was a lot of blood on the floor too, dried old blood. And you decided that you wanted to talk with the boss, which you've kind of famously heard about, Fendrick Glamour. So you kind of went up to his personal quarters, which seemed a lot nicer than the kind of ravaged, dirty, stinky interior of the other people's chambers. And as you kind of talk with him, he didn't seem to want to cooperate, and the one thing he seemed to be maybe negotiable on was if you would do a favor for him, which was to kind of sneak in drugs to the high society, which was a no-no for each and every one of you. And so you decided, since he wasn't willing to negotiate on your terms, that, well, trying to force it out with brute force is the only way. And during this fight, through a bit of luck, you survived, but after almost dying yourselves. You killed his bodyguard and him. The door seemed to have been locked to his quarters, so the guards couldn't kind of back you up on assistance. Let them in. You had a bit of a strife with the lieutenant, Delinara, as she kind of was mentioning that the Craggies were kind of her, like, kind of touch point to the criminal activities in Sunania, and since they have been now taken out of the picture, she was kind of explaining that it's now harder for her to do her job, to try and keep track of who is trafficking drugs and stuff like that, since the main source she was kind of keeping surveillance on has now been eliminated. However, she also understands that you were just doing your job and the circumstances didn't allow for a better result, and you kind of left on mild terms. And that is not where we stopped. You investigated the entire room, trying to find some kind of leads or some connections that this guy must have, any drugs, stash, something, and while looking around, throwing over everything except the one thing you should. But with time you did eventually knock over the cupboards, and inside you found a small chest. Inside of it was a letter, which you read, signed with EC, and 10 small pouches, see-through pouches, with a kind of a light but highly saturated blue salt thing inside of it. Very little. It's, if you would weigh it, it would be maybe about 10 grams, not more than that. Oh yeah, no, it was 15 bags. Yeah, it was 15 bags inside of it. Small ones. There may be this big, max. Yeah, and they weigh about around 10 or 15 grams. You also found a somewhat bigger bag, kind of shaking it a bit. Seems to be some kind of gemstones inside of some stones. Yeah, and that was basically it. That was immediately visible to you as you opened the chest, and that's where we're gonna pick up. What would you like to do?
Since I was the one that had opened it up, I want to roll a, I'm assuming, history, to recall my knowledge, to see if EC stands for the cartel, like if that's their signature, and if the little tiny light blue salt is what I think it is.
Can definitely make a history check. $22. Definitely. EC, you're pretty confident that it stands for the Elfenbein cartel. They're the only ones who would sign the signature. And the other reason why you believe it is them, since they are the main drug trafficking family in the whole of Azathia. They are the ones responsible for this. And in those little bags, what you have here isn't the drug itself, but what's the main component to make the drug, which is the...
So it, yeah, the salt.
Yeah, the blue glass and ice salt, which you can only acquire in the shifting ice, which is a glacial part above Collis, next to him. So on the very north side, so very far away. It's the only region where you can get this ice salt.
So it is what I thought it is.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, I will also say,
so,
just
go
you
ahead.
would probably know this is the amount you have right now, these 15 bags of about 10 grams, would be probably worth maybe like 50,000 or plus. There's a lot of fucking money inside of this chest.
All right, new idea. We become drug lords.
Hell yeah!
Putting it out there. Just putting it out there.
So
we're the
I'm
head of the
gonna-
Craigies.
So I'm gonna turn around, and as I'm turning around to like, I'm like, hey guys, we have a problem. As I'm saying this, I want to try to slip as much of it I can is in my pocket without them realizing that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that beats everyone's passive perception. So how
Yeah.
many bags you would like to slip inside?
I don't want to leave any of it.
So you're just gonna put all 15 bags away.
Yes.
Okay, you got 15 bags of 10 grams blue glassen ice salt with you.
So guys, we have a problem. This note is from a very dangerous cartel. It sounds like they owe money too. And if the cartel is wanting this chrysalis, that's very alarming.
Not the first thing that's alarming in this whole shenanigans.
That's true.
They're very powerful people that we might be getting in over our heads with.
And is this an Azathian cartel, or do they work elsewhere?
I don't. Hang on. I know that, Jack.
Yes. You don't know super much about them. They are extremely dodgy by nature. Even your intelligence group has a hard time doing anything with them, because anyone who tries usually disappears. For the most part, you know that they are most active inside of Azathia, but they have reaches way beyond Azathia, obviously. Otherwise, how the hell do they get access to the blue glass and ice sword that is outside of Azathia? Yeah, but they predominantly... So you believe that they reside inside of Azathia.
Alright, so they're mostly in Azathia, but they kind of are everywhere. They have a very high... lot going on. And I pull one of the baggies out in my hand, just so they see it. And I'm like, this stuff right here is from Colis. The main ingredient in the drug.
And there was one just laying out in that chest over there.
Yes.
Like, no protection on it at all.
Well, I mean, it was hidden in this wall thing.
Yeah, sure, but I mean...
But you can only
Anyone-
get this from Colis. And anyone that messes with a cartel usually ends up missing. It's weird way
Oh,
over
great.
our heads.
Great. I was in way over my head the second I
So-
stepped foot inside that freaking castle, whatever it is.
So let me make sure I understand what you're trying to imply here. Are you saying, like, this is coming from Colis? Tyrone is from Colis, and he was found dead less than a week ago. Before a big meeting about chrysalises, and all of a sudden, the cartel that has access to that salt now also has a chrysalis?
Yes.
That's not good.
No, it's not.
What has been good? Honestly, have we seen anything good?
No,
Well,
of course not.
Well,
Are we expecting anything to be good at this point? Really? I don't think so.
I mean, my discussion with the tree was actually amazing if we want to talk about good things that have happened.
Okay. I mean, fair. We flew on eagles. That was pretty cool. I'll give you
Yeah.
that.
There you go. We just have to look at the small little positive things, and they're gonna start building up as we start shoveling that shit out of our way.
Anybody have a
True.
use for gemstones?
I mean, they're usually used in regions for arcane or such.
I just grabbed the baggie of gems and like, do you want these?
Let me see if they can be useful for any of my... I mean, I
Oh,
guess they...
you have detect magic up, I'm pretty sure, right?
I do have detect magic, yeah.
Nothing magical comes from the bag.
Yeah, I'll peek inside, I guess, and just see what's in there. I know Colas is kind of famous for mining, I believe.
Yeah, if you kind of look in, you would find this.
Okay,
Oh, there you go.
these can be very useful. And since we did the work, we should probably use them. And I'll grab it and just put it in my work bag.
So what, we're just gonna carry those around? Where do we have like an immediate use for them? I'm just thinking out loud.
What would you rather us do with them?
Well, I don't
Leave
know. I
them
mean,
here?
well, no, I don't think we should leave them here. That's just ridiculous. I'm talking about like, can we go like sell them? Get something good for them? What like what? I feel like we're. Did
We-
any of you not realize that you all died or nearly died about 10 minutes ago?
We should hand them over to authorities because they are the product of illegal dealings.
I'm sorry, what did the authorities do here? We were the ones who ended Glamour's reign.
I just go up to my dear friend. I'm like, just let it happen. They've been letting these thugs control the city. We did them a favor, as much as they may not want to admit it, but just let it happen.
I'm gonna stage whisper. I know! I'm trying to look good in front of the guards because I don't give a shit what we do with them.
Right, I guess
forgot
if
there
you
was guards.
if you are in need of money, Eric, I can assure you once our deeds are reported to the Duke and we find the chrysalis, I'll make sure you're well rewarded.
I mean, it's not that I'm in need of money, but also I wouldn't say no to money. I just think, the grand scheme of things, we're doing some pretty heavy shit. And I mean, you all seem to be a little bit more sort of established than me, just by looking at you and seeing what you, where you come from, and the stories that you guys are telling, your connections, all that. That's a lot of money sitting inside your pocket, and I am intrigued by it. That's it.
I do want to make a small caveat to that. My dad has money, my dad has power. Currently, I am no one. I am trying to prove that I am someone outside of my dad's name.
Great. Fine. Fair. I apologize. Yeah.
I completely understand. I am dressed with robes that most common folks would never dream to see in their hands, and I get free passes to almost anywhere I want to set foot in just by mentioning my last name, so I understand that I am lucky. But it also comes with my dad's name attached over my head all the time.
Sure.
That's why I don't
Sure.
share my last name very often.
I
I
mean,
share my last name, the same thing happens.
yeah, our dads are pretty big shots in our hometown, and that's kind of why I wanted to get away. And a little bit of why we're here.
Either way, we should really go speak with the Duke.
That's a good
Well,
idea.
One thing first, Eric, you're right, we did almost die. I'm still taking that in. But we still haven't found the chrysalis. It's obviously not here. They obviously gave it to somebody else. So do we want to keep searching for that, or do we want to take a breather? It's obviously not leaving town. Yeah.
Well, considering we all just died, I really think we
Hey, what? Hey, what? We didn't all just die.
Okay, you saved our lives. Thank you so
You do
much.
need to explain what happened. I passed out fairly quickly after the spear got impaled into me.
I mean, there's not much to explain. You guys, I mean, we were all doing things, and you just went down. You went down. You went down. It was just everyone went down, and
Yeah, but see, when I was watching you fight earlier, you seem like I mean, I don't mean to insult. You seem like a novice arcanist. So I'm surprised you were able to. I'd look over to like the ashes. Do that.
Hey, listen. I mean, sometimes things just happen. All right. I, I, I know some stuff. I'm not novice, I guess, by your definition, but I just getting into confrontation like this is definitely not something that I have ever tried to do before. So something kind of just occurred, and that was the result.
So, I could potentially try to locate that chrysalis one last time, but then I'm tapped out. I have no more
Do you just want to see
of
if
that
it's
spell.
nearby? Maybe it's on our way
I
out.
mean, we came here because both of our thought was that it was around here, so maybe we should at least make sure that if it's not here, I mean, if it's here or not or something.
It'd be very silly to come here, leave, and then find out, oh, it actually was here. Yes.
Yeah, so just to make sure, I'm gonna use my last second level spell slot and cast Locate Object to try to see if I can figure out where that chrysalis is.
Your magic manifests once again, and it's still, as far as you know, kind of tagging you in the same direction as it was before.
Can you show us on the map one more time, Jack, how far we like moved away from the ping?
Yep, and so I won't forget to switch the screens. Okay, just one bit of confidence there.
His villain laugh.
My villain laugh. Yes, so you guys went in from here, and then the tug was coming from around here. You went kind of here.
Oh.
Alright, so we're not in the right place.
We are in the right neighborhood.
We are in the right neighborhood, but we are not in the right spot.
It's quite far away, like, you know, it doesn't translate well on the...
And down, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
down.
I do
So we
probably
stumbled. We kind of stumbled into a lucky / unlucky situation here. But yeah, we're not in the right place. So locate object lasts for up to 10 minutes. We could potentially try to figure it out on foot with the guards with us this time.
Quickly run.
Yeah.
Then we should do that now if it only lasts 10 minutes and you already activated it.
Yeah, let's try to get like right above it, maybe, if we can.
Yeah. As close as I can get with that ping not being the most low, like, I mean, we get a sense of direction, we don't get an actual ping like, oh, it's here. It's so
it's
as
not distance, right?
yeah, so let's just try to get as close as we can while it lasts.
So what I will say is you already tried that last session, which is why you even came to this point. And the problem was you would have to go into homesteads, like, to be right above it. It's like kind of in the middle of, you know, this area here. So you would have to go inside of a house, presumably, to, you know,
All right.
be right above it. Which is why you kind of detoured a bit, just to remind you.
But we thought it was downstairs somewhere that there might have been an entrance, which is why we came here in the first place.
We were hoping there was one here.
There could be entrances all over the place.
We could
Look
go
at this.
Well, they're detaining people, right? So we could just ask some of the detainees if they know them. secret hatch that leads down to the sewers.
You mean those drugged out guys that are barely standing? Like the one that spat in our face when we walked by?
But preferably him, yes.
The guy that's the guy I stabbed, right?
I think so, yeah.
Is he still around somewhere?
If you want to go and check.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look for him.
Okay, so you're currently on the second floor, so we would have to
Yeah.
go down where the lieutenant was. Okay, so you'll kind of step out of the room, kind of bloodied and beaten a bit. Go down the...
I just asked something real quick.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry. So in that whole time, like post-fight, when we were kind of running around doing our little thing in the room, during the fight, you said my arcane focus exploded when I got my nat 1. Did any of the pieces survive the explosion?
Oh, I just meant it explodes. It like your fireball just exploded inside of your face, so it's not broken.
Oh, the thing didn't break. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It just dealt damage to you. It was the
Gotcha,
effect.
gotcha.
It didn't break it. Yeah. No worries.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Proceeding, you go down the kind of squished ladder. There were only like 2 guards keeping watch on you. No, 3 guards actually. And the lieutenant went down to check on the now criminals to be detained. You go down, you can see good old Kyo in handcuffs now. You also see the one Kellen that you stabbed, Arya, and a few others kind of in the main room that was directly beneath the stairwell where the broken chandelier was, with the picture of the blue bullfrog. I don't know why I always have to laugh when I say that. Yeah, there are about like 5 people currently here, and they're all in shackles, and the lieutenant is kind of just standing there, kind of looking them over, seeing that you come down, just kind of nods at you, says, so hope it's you had a productive search, found anything out?
We did, but I think that's more for the Duke.
I understand. Well, if you meet any word with any of these ruffians, please go ahead.
Well, first of all, I think our biggest question here in this room is, what does the painting mean?
The lieutenant looks at you. The painting? Looks at the painting. And kind of the thugs, they all seem to be a bit bewildered. They don't really take in the question, except Kyo, who kind of always seems a bit sober compared to all the other people. He seems kind of just joyful, which is extremely weird given the context. He said, I don't know, I think the boss just really liked that painting.
Cool, great. I'm gonna walk over and just start looking around the painting, the frame, to see if there's anything that, like, little locks or mechanisms that seem to be hiding in it. I don't know.
Yeah, make an investigation check. $21. Yeah, kind of looking around. It's a old painting. The frame also is kind of torn, and you can see it's hanging a bit tilted on the wall. Maybe you kind of just touch it a bit, but then you notice there are a few stainless parts, which means it has been touched at some point of time not too recently ago, and so you just kind of get the impression to take it off. So you kind of take it off, pull it down. You can see behind it there's a safe inside of the wall.
Heal.
I wish I could do that. I think the boss knows the passcode.
I just kind of huff, walk over there, and take out my thieves' tools.
Yeah, go ahead.
I will put my hand on your shoulder, and I'll, hold on. Do I have it? Hold on. Yep. I'm gonna cast guidance on you. so you can add a d4 to your sleight of hand check.
Look for traps, please. I don't want that smoke again.
Alright, so I'll do an investigation check.
You still have guidance, so you can add that d4 to that,
Yeah, that
or not.
definitely doesn't seem trapped.
And my d4.
Okay, yeah, you kind of go to town with it. Kind of start getting your thieves' tools behind the small slits that separates the lock from the outside, nudging it a bit. And you quickly notice this isn't the greatest of locks, so you just have to switch a few tumblers, get a few clicks, and then it opens up quite easily with your proficiency. As you open up inside, you see which you would recognize as various accessories and tools used to consume the drug. See a few needles, see a few spoons, see a few lighters, matches, and a small pouch. Oh, well, not small, a kind of like this big of a pouch. And as you maybe like grab it a bit, you notice it's a coin pouch.
Okay, come on. Come on. Come on.
So I'm gonna open the coin pouch. How much does it look like there's in there?
Around 250.
Come on.
And I'm just going to hand the whole thing to Eirik and be like, I hope this helps, and drop it in his hand.
Great, thanks. And I'm gonna grab the lighter and matches that's in the safe as well. And I'm gonna walk away.
Okay. And then he takes a shot of blue crystal.
Oh man.
Just lights up in front of Lieutenant.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a way to like destroy this, like with shatter or anything like that? I don't want these drug
I
stuff to
have
be around.
firebolt.
The lieutenant
I
kind
have-
of says,
I have firebolt.
please, we maybe can't use this as evidence. There might be a few things that we can gain from this. Please do not destroy everything you see immediately. It might be useful for us in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point the drug stuff is probably more your field. You guys will probably be able to do more with that and track that stuff down. This is for us, yeah.
Sure. There's money you can keep. There's not much. Well, maybe if you could have one coin, so maybe you can trace back from who made the coin.
Look for the copper piece.
Yeah. The
Well-
dirtiest, rustiest piece of metal in that bag.
I guess, do different countries make different gold coins differently, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Different mints or whatever it's called?
Yes.
Could I look at one that was in the bag
Yeah, you
and
can.
see if I can figure out like what race or whatever may have made it?
Yes. It's more like regional, so you definitely know Holy Legions have their own set of coins.
Yeah, I just want to know if it's from us, from Qunan, from Zoth,
Yeah.
Would that be like perception, investigation?
No, be
Yes.
more history to see, yeah, if you recognize the symbolisms.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ, man, you're
hello.
bombing
Wow.
it with these.
He's like,
Uh,
I'm a coin expert.
how
I know my
On
thing.
stars over here.
how deep are you looking into it? Like, are you just taking one coin out and looking at it, or are you looking at the whole pouch?
If something seems to pique my interest or something I recognize, I would probably get another one just to confirm, and then get another one. Is there like a pattern? Are these all from the same place?
Yeah, you kind of take them out, and these are used, worn out coins. They aren't newly made. and as you see on them, they have the typical Azathian print on it, which is just a Jesus Christ, what's it called? Not a mistletoe, a kind of like a vine crown, basically, that goes in a circle, with a calligraphy A in the middle of it on the tail side. Yeah, and Lucas' second one seems to be the same. I guess you can also make an investigation check. 25.
Yep. I like coins.
Yeah, on the very bottom you find a few that come from colors, which is the symbol of that is a tower, a brick tower, and on the other side there are two pickaxes crossed.
Okay, I guess I'll kind of pull Arya over. Hey, this kind of goes along with what you mentioned, right? This group of yours that hired these people. This was probably obviously from them. Yeah, maybe you want to share that with the lieutenant?
It makes me anxious because they were like upset that we killed him. But yeah, we
I
killed him.
do know. What was the lady that was in charge of everything? I have that somewhere. Sinifer. Like I mentioned before, Sinifer kind of recommended this lieutenant, so I think you can trust her with this.
So I'd kind of wave her over.
Yeah, she is kind of standing next to you. There's not super much space in this room. Kind of looks over to you. So, yes.
So we believe this is all about the Essen Bean cartel. Pull out the note that we saw from inside the safe upstairs and show her. And based on my knowledge that I have, I'm pretty sure this is them.
And, well, a lot of these coins are from Azathia. Some are from Colas, which the cartel also works out of, maybe at a lesser point.
Looks at it, also seems to recognize us and says, "Ah, okay, this is interesting, and you have reason to believe that there's a connection to colors then? It isn't entirely uncommon to see the currency mixed with ours. I mean, we also have a lot of Lichens go.
Well, I pull out the one bag that my group knows that I have.
She kind of opens her eyes wide open and says, "Oh, wow. This is pure stuff even. I've never seen the pure stuff. I've only seen the finished product of it. That's
The way to get this is from Colas.
I think we might have to talk with the Überseer family then. Überseer family is one of the Duke families, so one of the 6 ruling families of Azathia. And the 2 politicians and diplomats, you would know that they are responsible for commerce, the banking and economics inside of Azathia, which includes money, obviously. I mean, it's...
Which family did you say?
Überseer, whichever, right?
Oh, it's the 5th family.
For those who don't have this information. Oh, yeah. Doesn't necessarily mean that they have any connections. I mean, the Verratgeber families inside of Sunanir are responsible for, you know, border exchange, diplomacy, foreign relations. That might have something to do with that. Aber dat is er gut find. Maybe I can contact the Ministers of Defense and inform them about this, and then we can maybe try and attempt to get calls to the roadsides, and hopefully we can have some help from other cities.
Well, that is if we can get the teleportation circles back up soon.
Well, we can still communicate, it's just we can't be there physically.
Well, there's also another matter that we need to take care of really soon and very quickly and swiftly. And it's the fact that we still don't have that chrysalis back, and it's somewhere in this vicinity, and we need to find it. It's most likely underground, somewhere around here. So I don't know if you, and I'm talking to the lieutenant here, I don't know if you guys are aware of any underground passages or doors or chambers that have been used or that have been known by you guys where these people may hide some stuff like back rooms or storage or whatever.
Yes, there are a lot of rooms underneath. There's an entire different section beneath the copper market, which is ruled by one of the head criminals. Well, they aren't technically criminals since they work with the state. I know I can see that your first bias is a bit negative towards them, but since we are extremely empty-handed in terms of guards and military, since our city is so large, we have to rely on them, otherwise there would be no organization whatsoever and crime would spread loose everywhere. So we kind of have to rely on them to keep things in check.
A very wise man once told me in my youth that a city is nothing without its underground circles.
Exactly. We'd like to keep close and good ties with them, since, well, they have almost as much influence as a duke.
Well, could we procure a meeting with this high-standing citizen?
Well, since they kind of govern their own territory, it is kind of hard to maybe make a meeting with them. If you can go and visit them, maybe they will allow you. I personally have never seen them. Yes, there are a total of, I believe, 5 that all rule one specific section beneath Sunaranir.
We're talking about this section here that we are right now. It's very close to here. I could sense that the chrysalis is very, I mean, close by-ish. We had to kind of walk around a little bit and find an entry point, but it's in this specific neighborhood.
Oh, well, maybe one of the Kagis kind of looks over to the kind of thugs and asks them, you work with one of them, presumably. I believe some of you live there, right? Do you have some kind of map? Most of them don't respond. Q says, yeah, I believe so. Should be in my coat pocket. Lieutenant looks kind of surprised. Wow, didn't expect that. Well,
Yeah,
you
I'm not gonna do that.
give it to us? Kind of puts up his shackles. It's a bit difficult. It's just in my left pocket. The lieutenant nudges one of her guards over. Guards goes over there kind of slowly, and then takes like a really scrambled, dirty piece of fucking parchment out, Kind of looks at it. Kind of looks at Kyo. Seems fun enough. And then hands it over to us.
I'll take it.
Okay, Fiera. And
I don't
Okay,
consider this a map, but sure.
this is what it looks like.
Oh, I hope it's like hand drawn. Oh,
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 It is dirty. Now I have to see.
oh my.
yes, Jack.
oh.
That is
So
money.
we're, if I understand well, we are in that
Van
section
Spire.
called Van Spire, right?
Yeah, and I guess I can't ping it.
Yeah,
I was
because
trying to
it's an
ping.
image
Yeah.
Oh
right
yeah.
there. Do you see it right there? Oh no, I
Yeah.
don't see it.
So like on the V, left of the V is where we think the crystal is. So we need to
Yes.
figure out how to get to Van Spire underground. My gosh. Interesting.
Kyo kind of speaks out. Says,
No, we don't need a guide.
I just want to say we have an entrance right here.
There's an entrance right here.
Yeah.
I will
Boss?
approach Q and very slowly and softly put my hand on his face and just go tap 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 tap. Good boy. Good boy. Now you show us where it is.
His motions are mixed. He doesn't know what to feel. So, wow. So, first time anyone besides the boss was nice to me. I don't know how to feel about this. Are you going to be my new boss?
Yes.
I mean, if you want, I can.
The lieutenant is like, we're supposed to take him into custody. I mean, if you want to take
No,
him,
no,
of
no,
course
no.
you-
Let's rehabilitate him through the jail system and all that first. And then once he's done his time and he's given all the information that he could give, maybe we could look into employing him in my estate to kind of give him a second chance and clean up his act. But first, he needs to do his time. He done wrong. He needs to do his time.
And show us where to go.
Yes. Also.
Yeah, sir, obviously. Well,
This first step at redemption.
yeah, if you would just move the carpet away, and you say, like I said at the beginning, there's a big green carpet on the floor and a table on it. So some of the guards just kind of take the table away, and you roll over the carpet, and there is a trap door that is just there beneath the carpet. So yeah, our boss used to use it a lot. He never went outside. He always used this passageway. Didn't want to be seen, you know.
Have you been down there?
Yeah, I live there.
Okay, so if we go down there, or if the guards go down there, what's waiting for us?
Bunch of friends.
Bunch of your friends, not our friends.
Yeah, they probably would stab you and try to mug you for the most part.
Or with us, would they leave us alone?
No, they probably would even try even harder.
Okay,
I
hang on.
don't think we need him to come with us.
Delana, have you guys known about these tunnels? Just curious.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so this isn't completely like crazy. Like you know that there's whatever these people are down there.
Yeah, we communicate. Some of them even are responsible for supervising some of the main chrysalises that power the city, since we keep them underground and not above ground. But they're always supervised by a member of the Holy Legionnaires, obviously.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you could potentially maybe ask for one of these people to accompany us so that we don't get stabbed, maybe?
like I said, the rules down there are entirely different. It's like you're going into a different city. The people there rule that part. We have little say, unfortunately. They have their own guards. They have their own laws. Every criminal inside of Sunaranir is in underground. The reason why people can live happily above ground is because all the bad stuff gets filtered down there.
Do you know who's in charge of this Vanspire?
Yes. So, well, I might elaborate a bit. There are 6 different, I guess, sections. We call it the Untergrund, which is spelled like this. And for Elven people, that just means underground and Elvish. And each one of them is either controlled by one head figure or a gang for the most part. And luckily for you, the Vanspire is actually the one that is, I guess, the most organized and well, I don't know how to say it to the underground world, but it is has some semblance of a society. It is ruled over by an individual called Lirana Gabrielle Vanspire, which I shall write into chat, because that is their long name.
Yes, and my brain short-circuited right there.
Her past is a bit ambiguous, since she has been here forever. I have never seen her. I know no one who has seen her. Not even the Ministers of Defense have seen her. Or any of the dukes as far as I'm concerned, but they wouldn't tell me that. We just have rumors that kind of say that, you know, the typical stuff. She's immortal. You know, the classic stuff. She's in the underground referred to as the Eternal Mistress, and people tend not to mention her name since for some reason she doesn't like that. But
So-
yeah.
Again, excuse me for asking for clarification. If we were to go down there, we would ask about the mistress and not Mrs. Vanspire.
What I've heard, maybe Kiel can say more, and you can see him kind of shivering a bit. He has now like a kind of a dead face, like extremely pale. It's like, we aren't allowed to mention her at all. No reference or anything. She seems to have a thing of people not knowing her. Yes, now you understand why it's kind of troublesome to get anything. But we can at least say that she has been cooperating with us quite fairly. She has 2 chrysalises under her protection, and they have been for when the city was built. That is apparently how long she has been here.
Are we talking X-less chrysalises or civilians?
Yes, I think they have 2 XDS chrysalises. They should have one Earth one, which just strengthens the foundation of the underground, since when the city was built, they only later realized that there was a hollow cavern beneath the city. The only way to support the structures at top was to use the Earth chrysalis to harden the foundation, and they have a aqua chrysalis, which is the main source for the sewage systems. There are a couple of aqua chrysalises under Sunaranir. Jira is one of them.
Do we know, is it known if she's been working with, against, or does not care about the Cardinal?
I don't believe she likes to work with other people. She, for
Right.
at least my time serving in the guard patrol, likes to
So
keep to
if
herself.
the news would be transferred to her that the cartel has an Earth chrysalis, that would be bad news to her. And she might
Something we could use, yeah.
she might want to collaborate with us into getting that chrysalis back, even from afar, even if it's with her goons or whatever she calls them.
Yeah, might be able to. I've never seen any influence of her outside of her own district. She really stays to the Vanspire.
The Earth chrysalis that is missing is in her. It's in her district, so it is being held probably by the cartel in her district,
Hmm.
which she's probably not gonna like.
Yeah, depends how she sees it.
I mean, it's worth a shot to at least make her aware of it, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Just maybe need a way to contact her without her.
I'm
How do you
I'm
usually contact her?
sure.
Or how does she contact you?
Well, she doesn't. It's yes.
So my background is like the criminal background.
Yeah, I know.
So like, and it says that like I can figure out how to I have reliable and trustworthy, basically, and I know how to get messages to and from people, including corrupt caravan masters and seedy sailors.
Those specifically, actually, just those.
Yes.
This is what it says. Would I like know where to go to like find somebody that could get a message to her? I mean, this isn't my city, so I'm thinking probably not. But
Yep.
at the same time, I might.
I guess make a. It will also be a history check. 11. This is a very unique case because just everything that surrounds it seems a bit odd in general, and obviously you know your normal methods how you would get someone a message to, but you think in this context specifically, at least what the lieutenant says is true, most likely wouldn't work since she isn't operating like the normal people do. Like usually you give them a letter, but if she doesn't even want people to mention or think about her name, giving her a letter addressing her would probably be even worse than mentioning her name.
Never hurts to ask.
Yeah.
Could
Yeah.
we spread the information with that, like use one of the criminals and just spread the information down there so that it ends up to her ears somehow?
Yeah, the thing is, it's hard to contact her, but what I presume is that she knows everything that goes inside of her district, which is why she was able to keep it so organized. I mean, she lives with literally the worst criminals inside of the whole city, and we've never even heard of an uprising. So I presume if the chrysalis you're talking and the people that are transporting this chrysalis are inside of her district, my bet is that she probably already knows it and has taken care of it somehow in her own way.
What we do need to get it back. We can't leave it down there.
You and Fiera, you both can make me an intelligence check.
Intelligence.
Intelligence. My second highest stat. Please don't fail me.
Guidance yourself.
I forgot.
Yep, that's the only way to nerf that skill is if you forget it. Yeah, it's just kind of weird, especially for you, Fiera's like just thinking in an arcane way how or what means would be required to kind of do what she's doing. First of all, the assumption that she has lived since the city was built is kind of just on an arcane standpoint, kind of like, dang, did someone gain immortality? Holy shit. And second, having even being able to know, you don't necessarily know if she knows that if someone mentions her name that she knows it, but just kind of seeing and hearing what you know, if she does indeed have that ability, there must be some crazy shit going on there.
Very high level divination type magic that
Yeah.
it would be insane. Okay, I propose we take in what we found out today. Take 5. I need to fix and clean my robe. And then tomorrow, let's just head down. I believe we can get your attention. I am from Canaan. It's pretty easy for me to go around and say I need to examine the chrysalises. And hopefully we can get her attention, talk to her, get her help in finding the earth chrysalis we need to retrieve.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true. I forgot that you're from Canaan. That could be used at average. I would, however, recommend to maybe wear something different if you go down there. If you go down as noble or people who have money, you might get mugged.
I can also wild shape into something that lives down there. Like either a rat or a spider or something like that.
Yes, but
I
we
will-
still don't want you when you revert back to normal to be in noble clothes.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of people who, wore a belt that had iron on it, and it got stolen. Since iron is valuable.
I will store things in a pocket dimension.
You have a pocket dimension?
Yeah, it's quite simple.
Yeah, I think the only one who probably would have the least trouble is Mr. Eirik over here. Even though I would even say you look a bit even too prestigious for down there.
Okay. Just go over and grab whatever like soot or dirt I have and just.
Oh no, you're already dirty enough. I mean, you have a lot of knickknacks on you that could potentially be stolen. People that carry a lot and show it are usually people who own a lot of stuff. Is what I'm.
Fine.
I
We
don't look
would
like I'm carrying a lot.
we would probably need to go in very simple clothing with pretty much nothing on ourselves.
Yes, usually an amateur move is to wear a cloak, but that's just even more suspicious. You only wear a cloak if you're trying to hide something. So if you wear anything that is obviously, covering up something, that is seen as a potential target. Yes, these are a dangerous space.
Not scared.
Well, you shouldn't be, and you definitely shouldn't show fear. I don't think I have to reiterate, but if they smell that someone is nervous, you are a target.
As long as we don't end up fighting anyone.
Can't promise that. Don't chloroform yourself.
I can't make that promise.
I need you to.
I can't.
You just hear in your head, you will promise that. I can't be watching out for you and possibly fending off attackers. Just in your head.
To be fair, if we need to, I could probably actually stop her from that. Although I'd really prefer not to.
Alright, well, I leave you to your quarters then, and I shall take these now to their prison, and then they will be trialed. Good luck. I'll be on my way then. Come on! And they start following, and then the guards kind of push each of the craggies outside as they get
Thanks,
shut
Keel.
down. No worries, hopefully I can see my new boss again. So, it's a
So
shambling.
his name was Keel.
Yes. So yeah, kind of left alone there. So there's still a couple of guards, just making sure that no one else comes inside. But other than that, you are alone now.
I think we should go back to the castle and discuss new findings with the Duke.
And I need to send a letter back home. There's a little bit of information that I really need to deliver.
Don't you live quite far?
I do. Arya and I live quite literally on the other side of the peninsula.
One thing, I believe a high storm's coming.
Yes.
Is that right, Jack? In like 3 or 4 days?
Oh, 2 days.
2 days.
2 days.
Today.
Today,
Oh,
it is
two
coming
day- oh.
today.
Which is another reason that we should get back to be safe.
Oh yeah, we definitely need to get back to the high plane to hide for the storm.
That sounds very agreeable.
So should we take an eagle ride back to the castle then?
I wasn't too fond, but we already made our stay in the city, sure.
I mean, how else are we gonna get back there? On foot? In the middle of a closed down city?
Okay, you make a point.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. So you all wish to return then?
Yes, please.
Then you step outside. The guards that are keeping watch over the craggy hideout just give you a nod, and you exit outside. As you get outside, it's still quite early in the morning. It's like 10 a.m. You arrived kind of 8 a.m. and then since you arrived, kind of 2 hours have passed with all the things you've went through. Going back out of the alleyways, going back on the street, you now notice when you first arrived, the morning seemed normal. People were, doing the stuff, but now it got a bit more empty since, people have realized that a high storm is oncoming. So most shopkeepers decided it's probably not worth it to keep shop open now, and too much of a hassle to open up your shop just to close it in maybe 3 hours, maybe 6 hours. So the streets are fairly empty. You look up, you can see a tiny bit of the astral vestige, but the sunset has already passed by, which is why it's kind of already dissipated, barely visible. And you can see the sky is completely clear, which it always is during a high storm. When one's coming, it's almost like it's as if it's sucking in all the clouds or pushing away all the clouds to kind of make room for itself. Kind of a big announcement to say that the big boy is here. With that, you just go to contact probably other guards just to get a captain to you, so they can kind of whistle down one of the eagles. which you would probably still have to go to the HQ in order to do that, since captains aren't stationed just randomly in the city, so you still have to walk a bit.
I guess how high up are they? Are they like hundreds of feet up?
Yeah. So they flew a bit lower for you, like 250 feet. But the usual fly height is probably double, or maybe even more, maybe like 800 feet or something like that. Yeah. So you kind of waddle your way to the HQ, which takes about, it's still like an hour, 1.5 hours of walk. It's like more than a mile, maybe like 2 miles. And after you get there, same captain once again, whistles a down, and you're whisked away. And just for time's sake, you arrive in the White Orchard's high castle. Kind of surrounded in semi-safety. There are a lot of guards, high-end guards that surround here. And you can also see that the retainers are preparing the castle for their lockdown for the high storm. And the guards also kind of, setting up their positions, making sure that everything is safe and that no one is inside of the castle that isn't supposed to be in the castle during a high storm, since you won't be able to get out. What would you like to do?
Relax. I know we need to go speak with the dude, but I all believe that we deserve some rest. We've had a long day.
How about I send a message to him and we meet him over dinner?
What time of day is it right now?
Now it would be around 12.
That way we can freshen up, clean the blood up ourselves, take in what we've learned.
That's a good idea.
I do agree, yes, and I have a letter to write. So if you don't mind me stepping out a little bit to write this letter.
Go ahead. Eric, actually, there's something I'd like to show you in my room if you don't mind, since we have some time.
I'm intrigued. I'm confused.
It could use an engineer's eyes.
Yeah, great. I've got those. Okay. Yeah. I mean, sure. Let's go.
Okay. Just as a quick reminder, you're in the high castle and not your accommodations. Since...
Yep.
And
So
unless
we should.
you wanted
We
to go.
should speak to the Duke before we go back to our chambers.
I'd rather rest for a little bit.
It might sound a little bit dumb, but I think maybe if we show how beaten up and bloodied we are, they might take us a little more seriously and actually, I don't know, suggest
Maybe
something else.
we could we could get more for our work if we look like we've been through worse.
That's fair. He does owe us quite a bit for literally getting our hands dirty.
We can actually show that we've been doing quite the dirty work around there. Because honestly, so far, and I have to give it to Eirik here, so far they've only cared about the chrysalis, but we've been working quite hard, and I do believe we deserve some payment in some way.
No, I couldn't agree more.
As much as I typically would not agree to pay people to do my dirty work, being on the other side, makes me realize just how much work goes into it, and I do want some payment from that.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, I
listen,
can-
I've done work with my hands in all sorts of years. All like this is my jam. I'm doing my stuff, working. You gotta earn what you're worth.
I really believe in my heart that we will be getting payment of some sort, and probably more than what you were expecting. Have faith in us. And I just get this like crick eating like grin just on my face.
If I did not know you for the past 120 years, I would say you have a bad plan in your head.
No, it's great.
Right.
You guys
should
are
we-
confusing.
Why are we confusing?
I don't know. You're just confusing.
We should go talk to the Duke and then retire to our chambers to rest a little bit. I think we all deserve to rest.
Let's do that.
Okay. Then you waddle inside of the castle to get a few past of some of the guards, since they are kind of closing the castle, but they kind of still let you in.
We'll be quick. We'll be quick.
Yeah, you kind of talk to a few of the retainers. They kind of say that, he's a bit busy at the moment. He's currently in a meeting himself, but you can't wait in the famous meeting room now until he's finished. And seeing you in your state, obviously the retainers will ask whether or not you want refreshments. If you want a bath, do you need any food?
Food would be nice.
If a bath could be drawn when I get back to my chambers, I would be very appreciative.
Kind of nods and just ask, and where are your chambers, your regality?
They are in the shoot, I forgot the word.
Hang on.
I forgot how to English. Oh, come on. They are in the diplomats housings not far from here. Oh shoot. What's it called? Oh, come on. I want to say the word.
Which is why I'm not saying it.
Oh, no! What's the word? Shoot. Did I note it?
I don't think I notated it for you.
While
Oh,
she's looking,
come
I'm gonna
on.
ask for a clean bowl of water, lemon juice, and a thing of alcohol. Oh, also a clean cloth.
Yeah, that can. But to the meeting room or to your?
To the meeting room, because I'm gonna use all that to clean up this crappy map I was given.
Okay, it is parchment. I don't know. If it's
I did look up specifically how to clean parchment.
Okay, very nice.
Yes.
That's why I
You
was
need soapy
hesitating.
water, alcohol, and a clean cloth.
Amazing.
Okay, then I have to clean them. Okay, yeah. Icero seems excited.
Yes. Mention is the word I was looking for. Which is stupid. I forgot the word mention. Why? I don't know. Anyways, we are in the diplomats' mansions, not far from here. The ones that have been assigned to all the diplomats coming in from the meeting that was held yesterday.
Ah, so you aren't held up in the high castles and you're on the Syrian high plains?
We are.
Yes, that can most definitely be done. Just as a fair note, the high castle will be closing and being locked down very soon. So, if there's anything you would like to have done here, it's probably advised to do it quickly, since once it's closed down, it won't be opened up again until the high storm has passed, for safety precautions.
We simply wanted to talk to the Duke before we left, but seeing as he is in a meeting, I don't know if that's going to be possible.
We might have to wait till after the storm to speak with him.
If it's urgent, I may contact him and tell him that it's urgent, and maybe he will make time.
Is there anything we specifically need from him?
Where
Other-
I guess it's not urgent enough to stop him from a meeting. Like, it's more like keeping him up to date rather than needing something from him.
Let's just wait for the high storm to pass, and then we will meet him after.
I guess, is the Duchess available?
She's always the scribe for the Duke, so I presume she's within his meeting currently, taking notations of what is being said there. Can I ask?
I mean, realistically, we could just send a message along with the retainers to the Duke to give the gist of what we have, so that at least he can read it, he can process it before we show up.
Alright, I can write up something. I'll take out my ink pen, my bottle of ink, and a clean piece of parchment. So,
Okay.
what do we want passed along?
Quick summary: we found Glamour and Craggies. There was a scuffle. Unfortunately, he died. But we have information on where the chrysalis could be, and we would like to talk to you in the morning. I feel like that's short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah, I'll just add a bit that we might be in the Untergrund if we aren't able to meet with him.
Okay. Kind of make that letter, give it to the retainer, and she promises that she will deliver it.
Is there anybody else in the room
And
other than our party?
currently, no.
How about we have a quick chat first before we disperse to our rooms? Since we literally met the other day and have literally almost died in front of each other.
Yeah, you know what? I've been thinking that too. Just, I kind of been caught off guard by all everything that has happened. Yeah, I mean, you kind of get me just by looking at me. I'm not mysterious, I don't think.
Maybe.
I
guess I don't
but
see
yeah.
what your goal is. Since we are working together and, well, fighting together, just wanted to make sure I know who I'm standing next to. So I'm wondering, Eirik, what your goal is.
genuinely right now to figure out how I got into this, because this is crazy. This is nuts.
It is. And your boss seems to be connected. Were you close with Renapila?
Yeah, no closer than anyone is with any of their bosses. I mean, just I kind of, frankly, I don't really like working specifically for one person. It seems a bit ridiculous to put all of your effort and your talent and your skills and everything just into one person's, into someone else's goals. So I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not super attached to anybody, frankly. Kind of just prefer going about my own business. I mean, I think I still have it. I mean, I have no idea what's going on. I have a workshop. I mean, I usually spend most of my time in my workshop when the rest of the guild members kind of do their own thing, and they spend more time in their, in the guild hall, and I really don't know what they do. I just kind of, like I said, spend most of my time in the shop just doing things, right? So haven't been there in a couple days, to be honest. So I kind of want to go back and just. I hope nothing's gone wrong.
Yeah, that's fair. Is there anything you're interested in learning to build? Anything you'd call a masterpiece of yours? Something you're working on?
Oh, I mean, there could be hundreds and hundreds of things. I mean, just recently, like the Eagles, that's kind of been like brand new inspiration to me. Like, we were up in the air. That was crazy. Is that not crazy to any of you?
I didn't like it, I'll be honest.
Okay, so you do think it was crazy, just not the kind of crazy that I'm thinking of. Cool. I mean, that makes more sense. I think it was pretty fascinating, to be honest. If we could find a way to actually do that, like, what if we could just, like, fly, be up there? I want to do that. I think it would be cool to just jump off a wall and fly. So,
Well, if I don't mean to interrupt, but if I keep studying the ways of the moon, soon-ish, I'll be able to fly. I'll just change into a bird and fly.
Oh yeah, okay, that's kind of cool. I'm talking more about, like, machine. Like, wouldn't it be cool to have a thing that helps you fly and not just be the thing that helps you fly? That's where I'm coming from. I think it'd be really cool if we can spend some time, or I could spend some time at least. I don't know, your fancy clothes and robes don't look like workshop type people, but yeah, I mean, just generally flying, that would be pretty cool. Other than that, literally trying not to go to war, that is ridiculous to me.
Yes, that's a good thing to not want. Oh, that's good. Israfel, you're kind of following your father's footsteps that you don't want his name attached to yours? So do you not have a similar goal?
I have a huge amount of respect for what my father and my mother have accomplished in Corvalli, but we do not have the same goal at all. My parents, my father, they deal in diplomacy, they deal in foreign affairs, and as you can probably tell, I'm a little bit more drawn to the outdoors and nature. And ultimately, our goal is probably the same. We just don't have the same I guess we don't have the same way of accomplishing it. My parents want to bring the people of Azathia together, right? By diplomacy and doing everything they can to bring the people together. I want to bring the people together, but not by talking. I want to restore the faith of our people. I want to restore the weave. I want to save the weave.
That's quite different. Do you think that's a good goal? Complicated though. Jack.
What?
Suddenly a cat runs across with a little ball of something.
Oh, I was just trying to get an apple out of my bag.
An apple's good for you.
Don't mind me. I'm sorry. I will mute myself.
The retainer comes walking by with like a rickety cart, and you're like, "Here's an apple."
Yeah, it's
Get out of here. Get out of the room. Jeez.
I'm sorry, I thought this room was empty. I apologize.
Leave the apple.
Actually, it could be poison to not the. Okay.
Do you want to eat apple?
Oh no, I don't have it prepared.
So now that Izarel's kind of told you about herself a little bit, I guess
Yeah.
I'm kind of the question mark.
Yeah, you seem to be an investigator. You work for a group that works in the shadows to fight those in the shadows. But do you have a goal other than fighting, I guess, criminals? Like what kind of world do you want to make?
I believe that the answers of what's currently going on lies in the past. There's a lot of knowledge that has been long forgotten or erased from history books.
Yeah.
I believe that in order to progress, we need to know what happened in the past. You can't learn unless you know what happened. Why would we want to hide things that could be important? That's why I joined the Inquisition, because I felt like it would give me access to libraries that I could only dream of. So much knowledge in those places. I would have access to the chrysalises, learning about them as much as I could.
I may have a couple answers through my studies with one of Servalon's servants.
That is my goal.
That's why you're my friend.
And as far as my family goes, why I don't like to drop my name, I'm different. As you guys have seen, I'm very aware of my surroundings.
Yeah, you're aware of mine too, apparently.
I have a knack, I should say, of peering in places that I probably shouldn't.
Somebody should. Interesting.
I said it before, it's still valid. You guys are confusing.
How are we confusing?
You're talking about all the past and the future and the libraries and it's just so much.
It's actually not that hard. If you sit down and take the time to listen and learn, there's so much knowledge that can just come to you naturally. Just like the way you sit down and look at your tinkering and you can figure out how your stuff works, how your little piece of cloth works to give us back some life into us. I sit down and I meditate, and I've seen the tree of life. I've seen the weave that separates us from our ancestors. It's there. You can almost touch it. And it's fading slowly. Ever so slightly. Because we've forgotten about it. We don't know about it anymore. We don't tap into our ancestry anymore. We rely on modern commodities.
Confusing.
And that's what I'm trying to restore.
Cool. It's
We can simplify it.
And with
We
that,
all-
Isarel takes her tinfoil hat and puts it aside.
That's very apt. We all want to create a utopia. Through creations, through information, through the past, the future, through magic. We all just want a better world.
It's all tied together. It's all tied to the weave and the tree of life. If the tree of life dies, there is no past, there is no future. There's nothing.
What's the tree of life like? Are we talking like hardwood, softwood, maple, oak, cherry, ash? What?
The big tree that's in the courtyard over there, like that one huge tree that is completely different from all of the other ones,
Right.
that's one of its children's. So it's like that, but like times I don't know how many more, like huge thing, and it's somewhere and it's dying.
She's very
Ah.
into that tree. Since we've been here, she's visited twice. Some freaky stuff happens every time.
I talk to it. I
Promise
sit
she's not
I
crazy.
I sit down and I talk to it and it tells me things. It gave me its name.
You have the tree has a name?
Yes. Yes. The tree is named Telvon. Telvon, the great archwood. He is one of Cervalon's, one of the Tree of Life's children. There are many across our plane. And I want to learn about them. Because the more I learn about them, the more I can tell people about them. And the closer we're gonna get back to who we were before.
Wonderful.
Is that I'm gonna turn to Arya and like, can we? Is that just gonna keep going and going and going?
Yes, it
Is
is
she-
best to avoid talking about the tree.
Gotcha.
Um,
I'm just sitting in my corner talking about the Tree of Life, and I'm just druid crafting like my rendition of the Tree of Life in my hand, and I'm just in the corner talking about that and basically back into my own little world while you guys are talking.
as much
If I see the tree of life in her hand while she's doing that, I'm gonna pull a spring out of my pocket and just use the spring to try to just shoot it at the little druid craft and see if I can make it disappear.
You're making an attack roll, I guess.
man. I'm gonna look at Dr. Fury. Here.
Yes.
Well, because I see this happening, I'm sure, with my passive.
5.
You don't hit.
Have we answered your questions enough for now? As you can see, my friend over there is now hyper-focusing on this tree and memories with the tree. May we retire to our rooms and we can resume
Yes,
tomorrow?
that is a wonderful idea.
I do want to know, Dr. Fiera, what is your goal?
Well, to create a new, better world with a better leadership using arcane ways that have kind of been lost. I think there's a lot of potential out there that isn't being used, and it should be used to create a better future for everyone of all countries.
I do have to apologize. I had a very wrong first impression of you because you are from the Holy Lichnius. And that name, that organization comes with a lot of negative.
Well, you have your father's name. I do have an entire country's reputation behind me.
Let
And
it be a lesson to myself.
And I tend not to use my last name as it becomes a target for assassination.
Cool. As
That's
if we
why-
really needed more of that. That's just a little extra flavor for this whole journey. Great, cool.
Not in character. You just don't want anyone to be assassinated.
Not again.
I mean,
Sorry,
listen.
viewers. Sorry, viewers. My last campaign, he was almost assassinated. So back to the story now.
I mean, my family did get assassinated, so you know.
Oof.
Thanks, Jack.
Oh, he's so proud.
Hmm.
I am.
Yeah. Let's retire.
Yeah.
Okay. And with that, you step back to your mansion. And with that, we were also gonna take our break now. Let's go 2 hours, and I gotta fucking piss as usual. So we're gonna see you in a quick. I don't even know why I'm saying that. The viewers have to wait like 1 second. Anyways, we're gonna take a break. See ya, champs. Yeah, a long ass minute or a long ass second for the viewers. Yeah, without further ado, we can just get back. You all go to your separate rooms. Isorel and Aria are one room. I guess, Fiera, you invited Eirik into your own room, so I'll let you decide how that works out.
Yeah, I just tell you come by whenever.
Yeah, I mean, I'll walk with you. There's nothing in my room, so.
Okay. Yeah. As we get inside, I'll put down my satchel on my bed, open it up, take out all my things. So you like to build things, right? Is that something you learn? You know, from like a school?
I mean, yeah, I just kind of got involved with the Makers Guild when I was young and just, yeah, kind of just learn on the fly. It's basically all I've done is just sort of just make things for people.
Good skill. Have you ever seen anything like this? And I'll get my arcane focus. The black locket that's wrapped around my wrist with like a silver chain. Take it off, hand it to you. I'll kind of describe it best I can. It is like a ebony black locket. On the back of it, it's smooth. On the face of it, though, There's 3 different arrows, kind of like a compass or like a clock. They're all facing different directions. One of them's moving, but it's not really keeping time to the second. It feels like it's off. And the other 2 are stationary. On different points of this like compass or clock, there are numbers. There are signs of like stars, of moons, planets, all sorts of different things just sporadic around this thing, and they look almost like mechanical gears almost. And underneath them, you can see the faintest purple light that kind of glows. It seems to be locked, like you should be able to open it on one side, but there's these weird geary contraption that it just won't open. And as I show it to you, feel free to look at it. I'm wondering if you've seen anything like this before.
Well, first question is, Jack, is there anything that I've seen that reminds me of this?
I guess you can make a history check. Nope. No, you've seen a lot of clocks and stuff like that, obviously, but not a clock that literally doesn't tell the time. You just your first instinct is like what's the purpose? Like what's the point? It just seems like a vanity item.
I mean, I'll be honest. Picture.
That's what I based it off of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mean it.
With the 17, I will say, you recognize 2 planets that are on there, which are what's called Vargo and Gena, which I will write.
Thank you.
Vargo and audio is better. Gena. But on his locket, there are a lot more things written down, and what's it called? Fiera, you would know this as well, since you're the one of this. There seem to be, and this is like a bit common knowledge for those who've delved into astrology a bit. You know, the Earth has one moon called Iris, and as far as most astrologists or astronomers, it's different. I have to remember that, are concerned there are only 2 planets inside of your planetary system with one sun, which are known as Vargo and Gena. However, on this locket there are more than 2 planets. There are a total of 8, including Vargo and Gena.
Well, listen, I mean, I specifically, no. I mean, straight up, no. I don't really have any idea of what seriousness this thing is. I mean, it's really well made. I'll give it that. Like,
It
it's
is
really, really cool.
quite old as well, yet it still seems to work. And it kind of helps me focus the magic I use.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, I could focus things too. With obviously, you've seen me use this and pull out my little drill thing. And you kind of just get, you get accustomed to using something so much, and it just becomes, part of you, I guess. And yeah, but what about it? What?
Well, my assumption is that this was made by, I guess, an ancient civilization. It was found in some old ruins and gifted to me. Have you ever heard of the Prestigia?
Have I? It sounds like I have. I can't. That sounds familiar, but I don't remember.
I don't think I've ever brought it up before.
Yeah, no, definitely not here. You can make a Street check once again if you like to.
No, it's not in any of. Hold on. Yeah, I'll make a check at least.
No, never heard of them before. And I don't believe
Okay.
you would have.
It just sounds like for some reason it rang a bell. Anyway, yeah, no, I don't think so. I'll be honest with you. Like I kind of the whole making things. Like I prefer making my own stuff. I kind of want to put my own name on new stuff. Going
That
into
makes sense.
however, if you allow me, may I?
Yeah, I
Great.
hand it over.
Cool. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna start, really looking it over, and I'm gonna pull out my my goggles of object reading lens and put that into my little face mask thing. So I'll cast identify using my goggles and see if I can get any extra information from it after I'll pull out like a little thing, like some small tweezers, and just start kind of like poking around at it, see if
Just don't break it, please.
oh, no, I would not dare. You think I'm gonna break a beautiful piece of mechanical equipment like this? Like, this is cool. Although it would be cool if I like had these pieces as part of my collection, but I would not do that.
Hmm.
So let's take a look and see what we can learn, shall we?
Okay. Have you used your goggles before?
I have not.
Then does anything fancy happen while you put your goggles on? Does like a light come out or something like that?
Yeah, so as the lens kind of clicks into place, I think I said it before, it looks kind of like a ski mask. So the whole rim around, where the eyes and the nose are, it just starts to glow with a little bit of like blue energy, and the lens is just going to start to, shade over into like, it goes from clear and it becomes gray. So the blue around is kind of just starting to emanate some sort of like energy that you can see while the lens turns gray. And I kind of it almost looks like it's kind of like fusing to my face while it's working.
Okay, yeah. As you do that, you can see. Usually, there's always a type of color or whatever kind of sense. Usually, because they're using goggles, it's a visual component that kind of gives you the inkling on what kind of magical school it belongs to, right? Usually, if it's strongly evocation, it's maybe a red color. Transmutation, maybe a brown color. As you do that, there's a kind of a colorless color that emanates an aura, and then suddenly through your goggles, you only see a grayscale version of the world around you for a brief moment. You see the hand that's holding the watch suddenly shifts into an old man's hand holding it, and then suddenly a young one, a baby, and then you kind of get a bit confused. And the only thing you learned is that this watch is called a Umbra Howe. And basically what it does, that you would also know, is it allows someone to tap into, or better tap into, the Shadow Weave.
Well, that's fascinating, and I'll unclip the lens and pocket it and take the goggles off. Yeah, the whole thing that Azrael was talking about, like the past and the future, and like I thought that was a bit crazy. I'm very much of the mind of kind of working in the now. This is basically everything but the now.
Yeah, that's fairly accurate.
Huh. That's fun.
That's a word for it, sure. I'd call it more potential. Because the more I delve into it, the more I can adjust the past or the future, not just the now.
That's genuinely terrifying.
Oh, yes, I agree. I got lost for about a week once, and I found out only a second passed.
Excuse me?
It's complicated. Hopefully we can find more of these because somebody built them, and this seems like a very basic creation.
No, I mean, physically speaking, yes, it is pretty basic. I mean, there's some gears and turns the hand, but the power that is in it. I mean, I know I've said this a few times. The last thing that I built for one of my customers was a rake. So I'm gonna be honest with you. This is crazy. Where you guys all come from, what you have I want it. Okay. You talked about what my goals were. You asked. I just said I want to put my name on something. This seems like a big step outside of what I figured that I would get involved with. This just the concept of this, just harnessing this much power, and I suppose that kind of goes along with the work I've done with the chrysalises before, and taking something and
Exactly.
harnessing power.
Imagine if we had the power of the chrysalises and we used it to amplify what this could do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We could potentially choose our own future.
Or we can go back in time and have none of this happen again, right? Is that a thing?
That's like 100 times harder.
Oh,
It's easier to pull information from the past than it is to alter it. It's
gotcha.
easier
Okay,
to
okay.
alter the future than to send information to the future.
Okay. All right. Interesting. So what can we alter the future so that we just solve all of these problems? Is that a thing? Can we just like figure that out how to do that?
Almost. But I'm not quite either.
Okay. Yeah. That's fascinating.
It is. Well, I am glad to see you're interested. I
Oh,
just think
very.
after we wrap this up, kind of hoping the other two will join in as well. But yeah, the future holds many prospects, so think on this
Yeah.
and let's get to work tomorrow.
I mean, definitely gonna think on this. I'm also gonna think on something else. You were talking about pocket dimensions before.
Oh, I can show you that if you want. It's pretty simple.
Yes. I mean, I,
Here, I will grab my spell book that I left on the bed. I guess I'll get one of the diamonds that we procured, put it on the bed, and start ritually casting Wrist Pocket. Since this ritual cast is very boring, I literally just open to the page in the spell book and start manually going through the arcane sigils and all the words that go along with it. But after the 10 minutes, you see me just go to reach for the diamond, and I flick my wrist, and it almost gets like sucked into it, like in a wormhole.
huh.
Yeah. This is kind of in line with what I study. It's just like a pocket space. You can't see it, but it's there.
Can that be like put into? How did you choose to put it in your wrist?
I just grabbed it.
Interesting.
Like my wrist again, and it's in my fingers. I can take things in and out pretty easily.
Interesting. I'm gonna pull out my book and just leave the room and start drawing something.
Okay. Then, nice transitions there. We will switch over to the ladies. The Kovalis. What are you doing?
As soon as we get into the room, I'm gonna turn to Ezreal and be like, look what I got. We can be rich if we pull the right strings. And I just start emptying all of the bags out on the bed.
What did you do?
Those are all the drugs. We can't obviously sell them on the street because that's a terrible thing. And I don't want to become a drug dealer, but
Arya!
those are worth money. We can
Arya!
we can tell the Duke that we took these off the street and maybe he'll give us a reward.
I hope you know what you're doing. You know I've never even seen that stuff before. I had no idea it even existed.
Yeah, they're everywhere, but we don't want them. All those people that were strung out on stuff. Yeah, that's what they were on. But by getting these off the street, maybe the Duke will give us a reward. I didn't want to give them all to the guard because, well, obviously there's money here and they weren't going to give us anything for them. My evil plan.
Oh, goodness. We are now even for the feigned death.
This time.
Right. Goodness. I mean,
Do you want to know what these are worth?
I'm sure they're worth a lot.
Take a guess.
I don't know the value of money.
Like a lot, like hundreds of thousands. Like thousands of gold.
That is a lot, for sure. I mean,
We
if
could do
that,
with that much money?
if I, at this point, it's not even about the money. It's about the fact that we have drugs in our bedroom, and we are foreign diplomats in a city that is not ours. Duke Kronberg is not here to protect us if we are found with so much drug on ourselves.
In our defense, we did try to meet with him before we came back to our room.
No, I'm not talking about this Duke here.
I know.
I'm talking about our Duke at home
I'm
that
very
can
much aware.
pull strings to get us out.
But we tried to meet with this Duke to be like, hey, look what we got off the street. Further proof that we've actually been doing work. So maybe
Sure.
he'll give us a reward.
Hopefully. I'll have to negotiate that, because I feel like he's just gonna be happy it's off his streets, send it somewhere to be destroyed, and never want to think about it.
You're persuasive, right?
Yeah, I can be.
I mean, I can too, but I'm not the greatest at it.
I mean, I'm not bad. I mean, yeah, I can persuade my way through some conversations sometimes.
See, even better. I have you on my side. I go sneaky sneak and I take things and then you spin them for the better.
You have to tell me about your plans before actually doing them so I can prepare myself.
Telling you now, I didn't want to tell the guys because we don't know them.
Right. I
Um,
mean, they do deserve some compensation for what they've done with us so far. They've done a lot of work
Well, I mean, I
with
gave them
us.
some. I gave Fiera the gems and Eirik the money pouch. I mean, I did have good intentions. I didn't keep all the money.
You
the original
haven't
parts.
changed. You haven't changed a single bit from when we were kids. I still remember you with the tarts saying, I gave them half. I gave them something. We can keep the 12 others for ourselves. It's only fair. I found them.
It's true.
Like
But
the
we're
person
giving
at the party who brings beer and they're like, I'm gonna get the last one because I brought it.
He's not wrong. but I'm doing the right thing. I'm giving them to the authorities.
Yes, as long as it gets into the authorities' hands. How many bags are there?
I have 14 because I gave one to the guard.
Right. Okay. We have to give those to the Duke, or at least the authorities. That the ministress of defense or something. Someone we have to give
You know what
them.
else we can do?
What?
When the cartel eventually finds us, because I know they will, we can use it as a bargaining tool. Oh yeah, you thought these were missing? Here, have these back for our lives. We saved them from the authorities. You know it's not a bad idea.
I hate that you're right. I
'Cause you know they're gonna find
absolutely
us.
hate. Oh, they are. I'm sure they're coming for us. I'm
And
sure
having
they're
these-
aware we're after them, so I'm sure they're gonna be coming for us.
So maybe it's a good thing. Maybe we don't tell the Duke we have these, and maybe the cartel will reward us. AKA not kill us.
It would be good to have some kind of bargaining tool against them. I don't know if a few bags of drugs is worth much to them, but
This
at
stuff
least
it is. This stuff is pure.
So what is it like an ingredient? Is it
It's the main ingredient needed to produce the drug that is you only need to try it once and you're completely addicted to it.
so they want that?
About this much that I have is like 50,000 gold. That's a lot of money.
That okay, yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot.
So it's up to you. I'll let you decide. Do we give it to the Duke or do we save it for bargaining? For our lives.
If we don't run in the cartel before we leave Sunanir,
I'll give it to the
we
Duke.
give it. Here's my plan. If we don't run into the cartel before we leave Sunanir, we do not go back to Corvalli with this in our pockets.
Definitely not. I don't want to
All
subject
right.
our people to this.
Alright. So it has to stay. These bags have to stay in the city, whether it's in the authorities' hands or the cartel's hands. But it's not coming home with us. That's my only condition.
Okay with that?
Alright, we'll see what happens.
You wanna go take your bath now? I'm sure the water's ready.
I would love to take my bath, but I do have. Yeah, I'll take my bath and I'll write my letter after.
I'm gonna go take a nap.
Alright, have a good nap.
And I just stuff all the drugs back in my little pouch that I have.
Okay. Stuffing them drugs. That's what we do now. Yeah. And you take your rest, and unless anyone else would like to do something specifically, the evening kind of approaches. You'll get your meals, and you can slowly but surely start to hear, even in your kind of somewhat soundproof rooms that were specifically made for that, can still hear the advents of a storm starting to kind of grow larger. Seems like it has appeared in the evening, so it was a rather fast high storm. Not like particularly fast, but a bit faster than, you know, your average one that probably would have taken probably a few hours more to arrive. You can hear the smashing of rain against the sturdy exterior of your rooms, of the mansion. The wind kind of wheezing through crevices, cracks between stone structures, and large amounts of hail, which is where most of the sound is coming from, except when a lightning strikes. Every now and so often you can see the outside is completely darkened by the storm, except for the flashes of lights that kind of illuminate your rooms for a brief moment when a lightning strikes in the distance or close. And the lightnings in a high storm are very kind of special. They can take on any kind of color. So they're most times bluish or white for the majority of the times, but sometimes you see a kind of a very bright purple strike just hit a nearby open space, or maybe a bit reddish, sometimes even green or yellow. It's really a variety of colors that kind of play around, which is why some people, you know, adores a storm as something beautiful, since it also takes care of most demons usually that are in the vicinity. The storm kind of wipes them away, but you never had to take care of that, since you've lived inside of big city walls and demons weren't really a threat to you. So high storms in your case are just kind of minor inconveniences or annoyances that just disrupt your everyday life. And as the storm is kind of passing over you, is there anything you would like to do during the storm?
Isorel is probably enjoying the sound of the high storm and meditating and just mulling over what's happened in the past couple of days and reflecting on what she's learned.
Nice. Anyone else? Okay. Then it takes a while until it passes. It seems to be a larger one. Maybe about 12 hours. You'll get your long rest, if you haven't done so already, since you are staying here literally more than 8 hours. Stayed the whole morning there. It's around somewhat noon next day where the storm seems to be finally passing over. So you'll be staying inside of your rooms till approximately 2 p.m. till it finally has passed to a point where it is considered somewhat safe to go out. And as you look outside where the storm has now passed and light of the sun can finally come out, you can see that the larger portions of the ground is covered in snow. Although Azathia is a somewhat more tropical and warm climate, high storms can change that. And that means this was probably a winter high storm, kind of changed the season just drastically. The day before it was like comfortable 25, at peak 30 degrees Celsius, and now there's literally just a somewhat decent amount of snow covering the floor. You can see like some hay balls that are smashed down into the soft snow that haven't broken yet, and you can see some are this big that are just kind of lying on the ground, as big as a handball. Yeah, and you can maybe look out. The sky is clearing behind the trail of the high storm as this just huge ominous cloud is kind of passing away slowly. And it's still somewhat raining, not raining, but kind of snowing a bit, and mixed with a bit of rain. So you're kind of in that very ugly middle stage of snow rain where things are just very disgusting.
Yeah, I guess I'll get everybody together. Do we want to see the Duke, or should we get to work?
I want to go play in the snow.
I guess.
Just for a second, for a moment.
I want to talk to you real fast here. So
Sure.
knowing that we're going to go into these tunnels, how do we hide things that we don't want seen?
All right.
I wasn't gonna take anything aside from my I guess spell book.
Because I kind of have something. I'm not taking anything, but there's one thing I don't want to leave here because we might need it. And I don't want to leave it here because we might need it, but I don't want it to be found if we're searched.
Ooh, that complicates things. I can hide one thing. I was gonna hide my book, but don't know if I could do two. Let me see.
While you look at that, I also need to choose my spells for the day. So, is there anything specific we should have?
Health?
Yeah, I can only do one object. I really don't want to lose my spell book while we're down there.
Nope, that's fine. You keep it. I'll figure it out.
I guess where we're going, definitely don't recommend use magic used up here, but anything that can help deal with people. Because I feel like we're just going to deal with people.
Huge list.
Through it.
And this is the rest of the episode.
I'm gonna. So basically, do you want me to be more of a support rather than a firepower for this one specifically? Like, should I get more like enhance abilities? I can have find traps. I'm for sure having some healing spells with us. That's for sure.
Support.
Yeah, ideally we don't get into a fight with the cartel.
I have a plan for that. It's okay.
There we go.
I have a plan.
Then support makes sense.
My evil grin. It's gonna make sense when it all happens.
Okay,
Are you
I'm
gonna
not
get-
the most wise, but I'm gonna insight check that.
Are you gonna get locate object just so we don't double up?
All right, have it.
Okay.
Just for
I don't know what to say. I think.
Alright, yeah, I'm good enough. I can't think of anything we actually need from the Duke. Unless he has a contact down there, which I doubt he does have. Sounds like it's pretty non-personal when they communicate. So maybe we just go get this done. Go get the Earth Crystal, take care of the cartel, and get out there squeaky clean.
Yeah, makes sense. Totally simple, easy. Mm-hmm.
easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Does anyone here not have dark vision?
Technically, I don't, but I have goggles
I
that
have a
give me dark vision.
I have a hooded lantern, so if we need it, I can
Okay,
bring
so I'm
that.
not gonna take dark vision with me then.
Yeah, I can always create light. So
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm not bringing anything with me other than like what my common clothes and my light armor and a dagger.
Okay, so here's what I have with me. I have Charm Person, Cure Wounds, Detect Magic, Healing Word, Speak with Animals, Enhance Ability, Hold Person, Misty Step, Pass Without Trace, Dispel Magic, and Speak with Blitz.
sounds good to me.
That covers a little bit of everything. I don't have any. I mean, I have 2 cantrips to attack if we do get into a bad situation,
And you can turn into animals. You
and
you
I can turn into.
a bear.
I can turn into a bear. Yes.
Are you like coherent when you turn into these animals? I know you can speak to us. Are you like, you still have your brain?
I basically I keep my I keep my intelligence
Yep.
basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's basically herself, but in bear form.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we have the mind link going on, I can communicate with you through our minds. If we don't have the mind link and I try to talk to you as a bear, you're just gonna hear growling.
How long
Okay.
do you think that we might be down there?
I have no idea.
So I'll wait to activate my psychic whispers until we're like at the entrance to go down, because for all I know, it could only last an hour at the minimum.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go find that building and head to a new city under a city.
Should I have my moonbeam with me just in case?
I would, just for it is a useful spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know how the talks are gonna go.
Yeah. I'm gonna... Yeah, we can start walking.
Okay. You start walking.
In the snow.
Alright. Good.
It's the sludgy snow. It's like a slush ice. You can see now that the ice almost passed the kind of normal temperature of Azathia is kind of fighting against a high storm. It's cool winds that's blowing. It's still a lot cooler than usually would be, so it's like chilly. Like a chili con carne. Nope. And that apparently killed Isorael's focus. Ah, no.
I'm back.
Yes.
Okay, I'm good. There I am.
Yeah, it's around maybe like 7-10 degrees Celsius, which would be like
Low 40s.
yes.
Low 40s, mid 40s
Yeah,
Fahrenheit-ish.
yeah. I was about to say 30, but I guess it's 40. Yeah, so you kind of
32 is 0.
Oh. Well, I learned something. Okay. It is 7 Kelvin. How about that? Universally accepted by scientists. That would be almost absolute zero. Okay. Yeah, you step out. It's wet. It's damp. It's cold. Unless because you all were wearing dresses, at least the ladies, it's probably, you know, like a woof of wind comes by and then woof, it's goddamn cold. Probably have to get something warm to wear. At least for the time being.
Just so Jack, you're aware, I hid the things that I have in my undergarments.
Okay. Did you put it into a special place or just in your undergarments?
Duct tape to the thighs.
Wording, please. Wording.
Yeah, I was trying to convey if you've done some specific.
So there they are. I have like some string or something to where they're all like tightly kept together.
Oh, I have yarn.
I didn't ask you.
We turn this
they-
into like a DIY situation.
But they are secured to like my thigh to where they're not gonna be seen or fall out.
Okay, yeah. Then I will keep note of.
Talk about a pocket dimension.
Oh snap! Coming in hot.
No, I don't want to shove anything in my pocket dimension.
Something we all have but never use. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Okay. With that out of the way, you you know, go to one of the guards to request, I guess, ego support.
Yeah, why not? I think it's we're starting to become those people.
Okay. Or do you wish to go by foot?
Oof.
No, your high society, you don't walk. What is this? What kind of peasantry is this?
I've walked the entirety of my life. I don't want to walk anywhere.
He's gotten used to the good life.
Yeah. And without wasting more time, yeah, you get on Egos easily enough and swoop and glide your way back to where you were previously. Am I right? You're still going to the craggy side out?
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct in assuming that? Okay, I guess for this we can just kind of switch back to the map view, so we're all aware. And I guess I can also just, as a frame of reference, put one of you in. I'll just take Fiera's token. Oh, that's a bit too big. How about we make it a little bit smaller just so we are aware where you all are. So you arrive there, and then you will go down, go somewhat here, and then go into the craggy side out. As you get there, you can see still, obviously, a few guards are there. A few people have already gotten out. Now they're kind of, some of them are obviously cleaning the road and brushing off the snow and the sludge off of their kind of terraces and stuff like that, trying to dry the outside so they can put their wares Some of them are kind of reluctantly coming out, just trying to wait and see whether or not the kind of rainfall will stop, the kind of rain snowfall. So even though it's noon, it isn't as bustling as it probably would be if, you know, the weather conditions were a little bit better. And as I said, get back to the Craggies. 2 guards are there. They kind of just seem to nod to you. And you go in. As you go in, you can see that the interior of the hideout has been kind of cleared a bit. There are a few, you know, typical investigation markings of things like where drop of blood is. There kind of a bit of rope has been put around it just to, you know, make note of it so that nobody steps on it. The rooms for the most part have been cleared, and as you get back you can see the picture isn't there, the table isn't there, the carpet isn't there. It's literally an empty room with only the trap door there.
CSI, sooner near.
Yeah.
So preparations. I guess I'll put mage armor on myself, skip alacrity on myself, and I'll also give alacrity to Eirik this time. If you let me, I'd put the sigil on your forehead. It's like stardust as I start writing it.
I'm just like following your finger. Like what the?
It'll help. And then once I finish, it just glows before disappearing. That is so much text. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to post it. I was just trying to roll my psionic energy die.
It looks
I did
like,
not mean to post the whole thing.
looks like one
Who
of my
wrote
magic
that?
items. Yeah. Oh, you were good in coming here before doing it. Jesus Christ, first time one.
I had a feeling. Good news is I can do it again. It just costs me a die to do it again. The first time I do it, it's free.
Okay, yeah.
So if you can let me know when that hour is up, Jack.
Yep, I most definitely will. And you guys?
Should I do it now or should I wait? Should I make Arya a little more a little more oh god, what am I trying to say? I'll get a sentence out. Should I give a little push to Arya's abilities or should I wait?
What's the duration of whatever it is that you're trying to do?
An hour.
I would wait a little bit until we know like further what we're going into.
Right. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Let's go then.
Yeah, you two.
Okay.
What's the game plan? You have a closed trapdoor.
Go down and try to head west once we get down.
Or
Is-
open it.
Is the door locked? Is the trap door locked?
Yeah, I was about to be like, can I look for traps to make sure like it's not gonna go off as soon as we
We-
open it?
I think we checked for traps yesterday. And there were none.
Could be.
I think Eirik.
That was for the
looked-
safe, wasn't it?
Oh, was it for the safe?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Right.
17. Look around. Just seems to be a shabby wooden trapdoor, and you notice it isn't locked also.
Did you say it's not locked?
Yeah, it's not locked. You would assume that the guards probably would have made it available for you since you suggested to go down there.
All right, let's open it up.
Okay. You open it up, and you get a kind of musty smell as you open it up, as the kind of trapped air beneath the trapdoor escapes up into now the open space, and you, since you're standing over it, kind of take a whiff in. Musty, a bit, moldy, hasn't been clean, seems to be a somewhat dampened interior. But as you open it up, it seems to be a circular stairway that leads down. And the first thing you notice is that this was built through hand labor, was not terraformed.
Dark, or are there lanterns or anything?
No, completely dark, at least in the first few steps that you can see. Since it's circling, you can't really see that far down.
I'll throw my goggles of night on.
Alright.
Who wants to go first? Okay, I will grab anything in the room. A cup, a spoon, I don't know, something I can cast light on.
Well, I literally said the entire room was clear, so it's empty.
I hand you a ball bearing.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'll just cast light, so it's nice, clean, white light. And I'll head down.
Okay, then give me your marching order. Fieras first.
I want to take up the back.
Okay. You second.
I'll go second.
I'll go third.
Anxious. Are squishy people in the front?
Yes.
Oh, that makes me
Yep.
anxious.
Yes. Yes, we are.
Arya wouldn't like Israel to be up front without her. So I guess I'm gonna be like right next to Israel.
It is only big enough for one person to stand.
Then
So-
I would stand directly in front of her.
So you would.
So you push your way to the front.
Literally.
So you would be second then.
Yes.
So you would be sick. Okay. Then it's Fiera.
I'm squishy, but not as like valuable.
Aria. And then.
Myself
uh,
and then Eirik.
I'm in the back.
Yep.
Okay, you slowly start to descend the stairwell. And you have this nice ball bearing that is casting light in front of you, and you can see now. You have to think what's your step, since these stairs were handmade, and it seems like not the best mason was at work here. Some of them are very uneven. So you're trying to keep your footing and say, sometimes you're surprised by how short a step is or by how long it is, and it's kind of messing you up. Going down here blind, Jesus Christ, you would most definitely fall. You can also see that the surrounding stone structure that makes up the walls of the stairwell haven't been particularly taken care of or polished to be made to look any better. It's literally just a loose earth that is the natural terrain here. So it's, untampered with for the most part. You can see some activities, like someone who went up probably scratched their dagger against it, or someone with broad shoulders had a hard time kind of moving through it, but other than that, doesn't seem to be much on the walls themselves. As you do so, you can slowly hear the echoes of your footsteps, one by one, going down the cold stone steps. And it takes a while, since I presume you're taking a careful pace and keeping your eyes and ears out, I presume, do you?
Mhm.
Then
I'm always aware.
then you all can make
I'm
a
always
perception
paying
check.
attention.
Just keep your minds and ears keen. So,
I think I'm solely just working on where I'm stepping. So I'll let them keep an eye out.
yeah.
Persuasion.
Persuasion?
Oops. Yeah, sure. Why
Pers-
not?
Persuading their steps. Then let me fall.
You guys are gonna do so good at going down these stairs.
You're giving us a pep talk.
Yep.
Yes. I
Okay.
saw a P and I clicked. It starts with the same 3 letters and my brain completed the word for me.
Yep, that's how it goes. Yeah, for the first probably like 2 minutes, not much sounds except for yourselves kind of rustling about. But as you kind of get to the 3-minute mark and you've been marching down this very tight stairwell, you can start to hear sounds coming from beneath you. An opening or something that kind of indicates that's probably the end. You can also hear the sounds of water kind of flowing like a river or something similar to that. Presumably you would expect a sewage system or something similar that's running down there. And the reason why you would think it's a sewage system is because this musty, rotten, and now piss and shit drenched smell is getting a lot stronger, and you're going to the source of it. So as you're going down, the finer individuals in this group will probably have to, kind of hope that the constitution will save them from the stench that is permeating through this whole stairwell. And I presume Irik is gonna do his magic trick again. Yes. So the people's around him, but you're at the back, right?
Yeah.
So the only one.
Me!
Well,
You're not in the back.
Yeah, but she's.
I'm in the back.
Yeah, Irik is in the back, and then Arya. Not Arya,
yeah.
Isarel, then Arya. It's 10 feet, right? Was it 10 feet?
Oh, I can't remember now. 1 second. Emits odor. It says radius 5 feet of light. I mean, I imagine it's probably the same for odors. So 10-foot circle.
Jesus Christ, okay, so Isarel would be the only one. But I think the stench is extremely strong, so it's kind of challenging your smell a bit. There's a bit of a fight, so you have a mix. I don't know if it makes it better or worse. Sometimes you spray perfume or deal on something that really stinks.
I'll just get into my pouch of herbs and just take out 2 random buds of flower and just shove them in my nose.
Yeah, whatever coping mechanisms you wish to use, you can. You get down, you hear the sound of talking voices slowly echoing through the stairwell. As I said, the sound of water gets a bit louder. The talk is a bit muffled, gruff at times. Occasionally you hear a shout or or the sound of something metallic hitting something hard, maybe a fight, something else. And then as you slowly get down, you can come out as you see in a small opening similar to just a doorway made so that whoever is passing through can just go in. It's really made for a one guy to go up and down, and nothing more than that. This stairway had one purpose, and that is to transport people, and it has nothing extra to it. As you kind of step out, you notice that you are flanked by quite large buildings, it seems like, and you're inside of a extremely dark alleyway. At the end of the alleyway, left to you, you can hear where the source of kind of these muffled voices are coming from. You can see the silhouettes of three dark figures doing something. You're not quite sure what they're doing. They're quite a ways away, maybe like 60 feet or so. And yeah, everything around you is just kind of dark. But as you look to your right, where your stairwell comes out from, it is like literally the exit from the alleyway. So there are two buildings next to you, and you're kind of in the center, just coming out of the wall, basically. And as you look down the alleyway, where you can see these three figures doing something, they are kind of backlit by a very soft light blue light. The source of it you can't really see, but there's this. But you can't really see anything beyond that from your current point of view, since you just came out of the doorway, are inside of a alleyway.
Well, let's pay them no attention. I'll kind of just turn off the light and get the ball bearing back. Let's go for a stroll, huh? Maybe we can find the, I don't know, we need to figure this place out. So I can just lead us out the alleyway.
Okay. You start approaching these three individuals. You can see that two of them are kind of standing over a somewhat smaller figure. The two tall figures seemed to be probably humans. The other one has a bit more pointy ears, so maybe a half elf. And the smaller figure, maybe like a boy. Probably human, doesn't have any discerning features that would indicate that there's something else. And the two bigger figures who are doing over them are just kind of being extremely rough to him. And as you're kind of passing through them, at one point, one of them kicks him against his shin. He kind of kneels down, winces. You just kind of hear the bits of conversation as you're passing by, and says, "Yeah, that's what you get if you don't get the things I need. You break a bone or two, right? That's how it works here. So the next time, don't fucking fuck up. Or otherwise they're gonna pay a visit to your ugly old sister, alright?" And go on, and you see the other one is kind of chuckling around. The boy on the ground is just wincing. And they kind of give you a quick glance as you're passing by, since you just came out of there. But just a quick glance, but they just own their mind their own business. Seems like they're more interested in what they're currently doing than what you are doing. Since there isn't much light, they don't seem to notice your presentation. And as you get out of the alleyway, it opens up a bit more than you expected from being so deep underground, and this presumably being the sewers. The buildings open up, and you can see these aren't really buildings. These are like just brick structures that look like load-bearing structures that keep this kind of underground cavern intact. You do see, however, a few houses lined in front of you, and you can see almost like in a very grotesque, dark Venice type situation, where there are houses and then there's like sewage water kind of crossing through them. You can see a few small boats that are lined here and there, and people are on them. There are bridges obviously connecting different parts of it. Looks like little islands with houses there. But the one thing that strikes you the most is, as you kind of look up to the ceiling, there are houses coming from the ceiling. They're upside down, almost like upside down pyramids, which are held up by extremely large pillars. And there are multiple of them, and they are interconnected with bridges as well. So there's an entire bridge system above you. So even this underground city is separated into two halves, the sewage part and then whatever is up there. And you can see one extremely large mansion at the very end of this underground part that seems to have 4 huge pillars holding it up, and one central pillar that seems to go into the mansion itself. And there's only one single bridge that leads to it. And everywhere else there are a few of them, and they look like kind of, from architecture, a bit like a Gothic cathedral. Extremely well made, otherwise they wouldn't be able to stand. So whoever made this must know what they're doing. And you can see that this entire space is lit up by a few lantern posts that just glow a very dim, that light blue color, and you can now see there are a few posts set up around, so the space is illuminated. And you can see just people walking around, but every single one of them has just something odd about them. Maybe the way they walk, the way they look, if they come a bit closer, the way they smell. There's just something. Every single one of here has a character that you would advise as children to not approach if you saw them in a darkened alleyway. But it seems like this entire city is a dark alleyway. What would you like to do?
Well, Azrael, you want to give us a direction?
Yeah. Yeah. Should I? I mean, I'm just scared of doing a magic spell in the middle of this place here. Maybe we should find a quiet spot so that we don't get seen. At least for now. I don't want to reveal us as magic users just yet.
Fair. We could just have you cast at the bottom of the stairway, where the stairs meet the alleyway.
Yeah, we could go back a little bit. But that would mean we would have to go in front of those people again that were beating down the other guy, and that would look suspicious. So I'm sure we can kind of duck in a corner out of sight, like a little bit at least. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna come out eventually that we're magic users. I just don't want to barge in and announce, like, hey, we got spells. So I'll just try to see around us if there's a spot where I can maybe do my spell without catching too much of attention.
You're gonna make a perception check.
Perception this time, not persuasion.
Very nice. If you follow the rules, you get rewarded. Yeah, you kind of look around, shifting a bit, and you can see that these large structures that are built at the wall itself, which you first thought were buildings, they have these kind of rivets that go up, that seem to always have like a bit of an indentation inside of them. So there's always one big structure that comes out, and then there's a bit of a gap, and another big structure comes out, you know, like a frill basically. So there's always like a corner you could duck into. Plus the place is extremely dark, so as long as, you know, your friends kind of just stand in front of you, even if a bit of light comes out, it wouldn't be too suspicious.
Alright, let's duck into this little corner here and I'll try to locate again.
Okay, if you do that, I still would like you to make a stealth check, just because you're trying to be sneaky.
Yep.
Okay, that is an 8. So you go to one of those trails, go inside there, and then maybe tell your friends to keep an eye out, keep them, make a flesh wall with the bodies. And
Yeah.
you can describe to me, how does your spell work again? So how does that visually come out? That sounds bad, but you know what I mean.
I would, because I do my magic with my hands, I would basically have my hands in front of me, trying to visualize what I'm trying to locate. And as if it was like, as if I was holding it right in front of me, and just concentrating on it, and my hands just flash this dark blue / purple color beam of light, and then I have like this, so yeah, this bit, like this flash of light, and then I feel the tug if I do feel it. But yeah, I would basically have my hands like this, trying to visualize, and then there's just like this flash.
Okay. Yeah. You do that, you cast. The flash comes, your compatriots, probably a bit worried since it is quite bright in this dark space, even more so than it usually would. But you do feel a tug. Hard to gauge from where you are. It seems to still be in the same direction as before. Still kind of now where you are doing pointing westwards, but this time it's kind of pointing a bit upwards instead of downwards.
Alright, so I'm gonna tell my friends I think it's in the upper city.
In the mansion.
It's in the upper underground. The underground upper, the top half, the top down thing.
Okay. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt yourself. I'm the over talker, okay?
It's my role. And as you kind of say that, and maybe step out of your little, kind of outpost that you were hiding in, you immediately see two figures approaching you. But these look entirely different from the rest. They are adorned in complete black. You can see a bit of black feathers coming from the side, and they wear a very distinctive, clearly raven mask with a large frill coming out of them. Just from the way they're walking, they look friggin' terrifying. You don't see any visible weapons on them currently, and they just seem to be walking, looming over you. And as they move past some of the people step aside. People don't seem to have to want to do anything with them, and they look a bit like this.
Oh gosh.
Ooh, we get a picture.
Oh, that's cool.
That's kind of creepy.
They
Kinda?
I love it.
I always love the pictures that Jack shares because
I love creepy
It adds
shit.
so much to this. It's ridiculous.
what are they called?
Well,
We don't know yet.
We don't know.
You don't know yet.
We don't
Even though
know
it
yet.
says the name. I always forget that I always name them. I was like, wait, but they don't know his name yet. But maybe you will find out. Yeah, they approach, and one of them, they seem to be exactly the same. There don't seem to be any discernible different features from the one or the other. Seem to be same height, and they just kind of go past everyone and go directly to Isorel. So even if you're kind of standing in front of them, it's very obvious that they are approaching you.
I kind of push her behind me.
I'll put my nose in the air a little bit.
It's hard to gauge if they have any reaction since their faces are covered by these masks. And one of them just says, "What are your intentions?"
I'm trying to find something that doesn't belong here.
Jesus Christ.
What is it?
I just say that in your head.
Uh, I am aware that we are not welcome here. And we will make it quick. We just want to avoid any kind of trouble. What we want is in the upper part, and we'll be gone as quickly as we came in.
Why?
It was stolen from us.
Who?
And the Craggies stole it, and we just want it back.
Lies.
The cartel has it.
Which one?
You want me to
The-
answer for you?
The Elfenben cartel has it.
Lies.
It's up here. I can feel it.
You do not belong here.
We don't.
We keep everything in order.
I understand.
We keep an eye on things that come in and out.
I understand that as well. I am well aware. I know that you know what we're looking for. You know just as well as we know that it doesn't belong here.
If it came here, it belongs here.
It was stolen.
Therefore, it doesn't belong here.
The rules, we keep them. We make sure that people abide by them. You come from a different place. You speak in riddles. You say we have things. You say stolen things. We do not have stolen things.
It was in a warehouse under our protection. It was taken and is now here. In our books, up there, above the ground, that's called stealing. It might not be the same here, but that's how it is where we came from. And I know that you guys don't play by our rules. And I understand also that we do not belong here, but we'll try and play by your rules as long as we can get what belongs to us.
Then say what has been taken.
An earth chrysalis.
We have not taken or received An earth chrysalis.
I know that people in charge here have not taken. I'm guessing people in charge here have not taken or received. I am saying it is here somehow. It came here. And I can feel what that flash of light that you saw that alerted you of our presence. I am locating that object, and it's pointing upwards from here. And I point in the direction of the tug.
You point, and you can see now there's these normal pillars that seem to be holding most of the structures, but there's one larger pillar that is on the very western side that is visibly just a lot larger than any other structure except for the huge manor that sits at the very back, and you can see that there are no bridges connecting to that pillar. As you maybe look around a bit more, you can see there's a second one similar to that on the very right side, and as you kind of point to the one that's on the very western side, you know, one of them kind of turns around and then look and then says, "Your information is misguided, then. That earth chrysalis belongs to us, and we have been taking care of it for the last few centuries." Which
You're in your head. Ah, shit. Did we steal it from them to begin with?
what you are currently locating is something similar. Not the same.
Do you know where it is?
No.
Do you know someone that could give us that information?
No.
I'm gonna say through the mind links. Anyone? Ideas? Something?
Yeah, I guess I'll step up.
As I was about to say in your head, you're from Canaan. It's your job to check on these things.
I guess it's my turn. But well done. You are actually quite well informed in what goes in and out, and how even perhaps how our spell works. Seems you're right. We locked onto the wrong thing. But I do think you're wrong in that you don't know someone that can help us. The Craigie stole what we're looking for and passed on to somebody else. Our information points to cartels involved. Our other information points that your boss is not a big fan of working with others. And she would be the one with the most information. If we're wrong, we have nothing to lose other than, well, you get to embarrass us. But if we're right that she can help us, so we can help her, maybe he can help us meet her.
A sword suddenly appears inside of your stomach. You
I
take
throw my dagger.
a total of 22 damage as they say, as he's kind of immediately stepping beside you. Nobody even saw him move. It was just he appeared suddenly immediately next to Fiera with their face next to hers, and you just hear, "We do not mention or think about her here," and then pulls out the sword and then stops. Sword disappears immediately and then doesn't take any aggressive posture. It's like almost this was a minor warning. Arya, you wanted to do something?
Let's see my comrade get hit. I'm just gonna throw one of my psychic daggers at it.
Don't start. Don't.
So, do you throw? Do you commit?
I'm trying to
Don't.
decide.
Don't
Arya-
start anything.
So, Arya...
Like
This is Isarel talking to Arya. Don't start anything we can't finish. Don't, please. And I'm just holding her wrist with the dagger.
Oof. Okay, so you throw, Arya. And yeah, they just, you throw at one of them, it kind of goes to them, and it seems like it just passes through them. And then their form kind of vanishes, and then they appear behind you, and then they will obviously strike you. So you also take 26 damage as they hit a somewhat more aggressive spot.
I'm going to use my... which uses my reaction to have the attack's damage.
Yes.
So you said that was how much? You said it was-
26, so it's 13.
Everybody stop.
And
Let's not fight.
as now they hit Arya, you can see suddenly a bubble of darkness appears that now shrouds Arya and the one that struck her. So Arya, you're currently blind, you don't see anything, and you currently just see this bubble of darkness that are there. And you hear the one that's standing in front of you, Fiera. Still, there's no aggressive stance from them, it's just both hands down, just standing there extremely casually. They say,
Yep.
"You leave now.
Yep,
This is your last
we're leaving.
warning."
We're leaving now. Let's go. Can I get my friend back? And we're gonna leave.
The darkness disappears, and then suddenly, next to the other guard, is just there, appears there. And it's extremely weird seeing this. And you can make me a intelligence check, Fiera.
Can I roll a history to see if anything I've read I could know what these things are?
19.
Yeah, sure. Fiera is the way their shadows move is extremely interesting. Arya, never heard of them. Not in your current line of work. It doesn't seem like you have read on them at any point.
Yeah, still holding my wound. I'm gonna stare, I guess, the guy's mask. I request a meeting.
Don't.
I'm fine
Say-
being denied. I request one.
Your request is denied.
Let's go.
Okay, do you leave?
Yep, I'm grabbing Arya by the arm, and I'm pulling her away.
Okay, so you slowly go back towards, I guess, the staircase.
Oh, not slowly. I am stomping my way out.
Okay, you can see the 3 individuals who were there seem to have now way they came out of the alleyway, kind of just watched, and you can notice now other people were just kind of looking at the spectacle, but not really. They are trying to have as little eye contact with them as possible, or to be associated. So even though this is kind of like a special event, it didn't seem to have catch that big of a crowd as you would expect it, and the only people who are watching are like extremely far away. And with that, the alleyway is fairly empty, and you kind of run through it, and you get back into the stair. And as you kind of go to the stairs, and maybe you look back, you can just see the 2 figures already standing
Question.
at the end, just making sure that you're going. Yes.
Question. At any time while we were down there, have I seen any rats or lizards or anything like that?
Make a perception check.
Yep.
Good question. I like this.
12. You were a bit distracted, so I don't think in this kind of situation that occurred you've seen any rodents. And as you're kind of rushing back, you also don't seem to clock any, and it's very dark, so they're probably hiding very well if there are any.
Alright. Let's get back upstairs and out of this place, please.
Yeah. Oh, gaslight on literally. I don't have anything on my person. I'll ask for another ball bearing and lead our way up.
Okay. Then you leave the vent spire behind, slowly make your way up the very egregious and dangerous stairwell, and manage to get back on top. And you are back inside of the craggy side out.
How much damage did you take, Fiera?
A lot.
A lot?
Yeah.
I'm gonna-
I'm still like bleeding from pretty heavily. Yeah.
I'm gonna cast a 3rd level healing word into you.
Wow.
So
Might do.
so you gain 12 back.
Appreciated. So, what have we learned? Our spells both went to the smaller one. And if we can trust those guards, which we probably can, it did not pass down there. We missed.
Arya's just got her back to the wall and like sitting on the ground, and her hands are just in front of her, and she's just mumbling, "I failed. I couldn't protect them."
We need to talk to the Duke.
I really can't imagine he would have anything of use for us. We needed to talk to the cartel. But no, we probably can't.
I mean, the cartel is everywhere. They don't necessarily stay just in this district. I'm sure the Ministers of Defense can arrange a meeting with the cartel. Because the cartel and Vanspire, they operate separately. There's still a chance. We just
I
we
don't.
just need to get creative.
In my line of work, we tend to ignore the cartel. It will be kind of hard to try and get a meeting with them. In my experience, when I stumbled across one of their warehouses, I was told to turn a blind eye. This is
Well-
bigger than you guys can imagine.
Then maybe we should talk to the Mistress of Defense. Because they're the one that hired the Craigies.
I think that's the only way that anything's
Yeah.
going to happen.
I need to send that letter home.
Okay, so what's the plan?
Need to get a hold of Sinophore.
What you would like to do via?
You still have sending available or message, right?
I could. Let me see. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to do that, I guess.
Maybe meet in the conference room at the castle?
Should be easily done. Okay, yeah, I'll get my arcane focus out. From me appears kind of like a sound wave almost. I can mix in some beats. And I'll send to Sinifer, Sphera. Need to meet with you and the Duke post haste. Conference room in 1 hour.
Get a response. Alright. Can be done. Currently preparing for the arrival of the Crusader Legion. Having an appointment with the Light Commander later in the day.
Yeah, after getting that back, I'll start running. Alright, we have an hour to get to the room. It sounds like the Legion is pretty close. So we should hurry.
Yes.
Okay.
We need to hurry.
Okay, how do you wish to go back? Via Eagle again? Or?
Eagle's the fastest. We don't have any teleportation things.
Okay, then
Mhm.
you probably have to now jog a bit to the HQ. Otherwise, you will miss the 1 hour mark that you set for yourselves. So you're kind of jogging, and in that time, your psionic link will fall area. But nonetheless, you do make it there and manage to get to the HQ where you get picked up by eagles again. And as you're kind of soaring through the sky, seeing the city beneath you, this time it's a bit better. The storm has now completely passed. It seems like there isn't like, you know, rain dropping on you anymore. The ride here was a bit bad, you know, a bit turbulent. The birds weren't the happiest to do that, but now, you know, kind of drying off. As you kind of look to the side, to the east side of Sunania, you can kind of see like what looks like a shimmering silver river on the road approaching. A somewhat beautiful spectacle in a certain sense, but maybe a bit ominous with what it carries, and you can just hear the faint sounds of horns in the distance. And that most definitely is the Crusader Legion, probably a couple of hours away before they arrive at the city itself. And that is where we're gonna end today's session.
Ah!
Whoops.
The boys trying to mess with the wrong people. It all goes.
I thought her would be low key enough.
I forgot to cast guidance on myself again. I keep forgetting it's a freaking cantrip, so I could just spam it like over and over and over again, and I just keep forgetting. Like that's literally something I can do, and I don't do it.
It's like FCG. Guidance, guidance, guidance.
But yeah, a bit unlucky that you can secretly cast a spell, otherwise I probably wouldn't have taken note of you.
Yeah,
But-
that was a bad roll. It happens.
Yeah.
It makes for interesting stuff to happen.
Which is
Oh man.
two of you almost getting stabbed to death again.
Oh.
I think our name of our session should be Darkness Surrounds.
Ooh.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Or swallowed by darkness. With my little Batman bat.
Nice. Yeah. Progressed a bit. In a few ways, I guess.
Did we?
I don't
was
know
like,
if we
hey.
did. I don't think we did.
Oh, I feel
Well-
like we have ran into a huge circle.
Yeah, trusted locate object a bit too much. Close
Yep.
to the wrong one.
Did not double check.
Nope, I didn't even think twice when we learned that.
I,
Yeah, the
you
small
know,
one.
you know when the DM keeps repeating like, oh, there are earth chrysalises keeping structures in the city, like the brain should register that as maybe you should verify your information before you trust it.
Especially
You know, we've learned a lot though. We learned that there's a cartel involved.
Yeah.
We found proof of that. We now
And
learned
don't go
that,
into the basement.
Yeah, we're learning
Basements
quickly
are
not to
bad.
go underground. You'll be surrounded by darkness.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it depended how you approached it. Yeah, what I found funny is because Matthew at some point asked if it was a Medax Chrysalis that they had. So I thought, oh, now he knows. So I was like, yeah, it's a Medax Chrysalis. But then like, what did you ask that then? If it wasn't for thinking that was
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
My brain did not put two and two together until it was too late.
Yeah, I forgot that aspect of this.
That's why I reminded you last session at the beginning. I thought first that was a dead giveaway. It's like, okay, if I'm already mentioning it, they would immediately suspect it, but they did it. But you know,
Yeah, who knows where that
hey.
chrysalis is now? We don't know.
It's
Oh no,
That's for
shit,
sure.
we don't know.
we definitely do not know.
it is
Cartel has it.
probably gone. Oh yeah, I'm sure the cartel has it by now.
Or it's in someone's fucking living room.
Oh yeah. Little
is
Granny is using it as a lampshade, I'm sure.
This session was really interesting. Like you guys learned a lot about like the type of knowledge that Arya possesses, like about like drugs and cartels and
Oh god, we have so many. You have so many drugs taped to your
Oh, yeah.
body.
I have a lot of drugs.
And I'm the hippie one. I should have the drugs, not Arya.
True. Yeah, could place a bet. Who's gonna take drugs first?
Nobody's taking drugs. I don't want the scratches.
Nope. Nope.
A bit of scratch? Why not? Just have a bit of fun.
That'd be
Turn-
great role playing for you, but no.
Turn pain into pleasure. That's the slogan of the drug.
All stats are like knocked down to like 3.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And I would be taking damage regularly from scratching out my arms.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean,
Nope.
only
Yeah,
one way to
sounds
find
good.
out. One way to find out, man.
No.
Have you ever had a player actually become addicted?
No, my other players are not in a position where they could take drugs. Currently, they're doing some different crazy shit. But it's about time. I bet they will. If I say, oh yeah, here's drugs, they would definitely say, oh yeah, let's try it.
Sure.
Because you at least know that it's bad. They don't have anyone who can tell them that it's bad. So if they just hear, oh, it's drugs, then I'm 100% confident that they would definitely take them.
Oh man.
Are they playing a group of Craggies?
No, that's not crazy.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
Yeah, but they are kind of the, in a certain sense, polar opposite of what you guys are. So
That's probably a good thing. That's
We don't make the best decisions.
oh,
I mean, they almost got TPK'd last time too. So
Oh, good.
We're not the only ones.
yeah, it's a constant fear for all of my players. It doesn't matter which campaign you're in. You gotta fear the TPK, man.
Mhm.
Gotta make the right decisions, otherwise I'll have my fun.
Yeah.
We made
what
it
to do
almost a
next
year
then?
last time with our old characters.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, we haven't done doing great this time.
We have to hit a year. We have to hit a year.
That's the goal.
Yes.
We have to hit the year.
Yeah, or 26 sessions because you died at the 25th. Which is kind of it's a nice
True, yeah.
number. It's a nice number.
It
but,
is. It is a nice number.
But yeah, who knows? Well, okay, we don't want to keep the viewers sticking around too much, even though I highly doubt that anyone's watching this last part. Even though, me personally, I always find these parts the most enjoyable by any YouTube video, but I think I'm in the minority there. So we're just gonna say bye.
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 Next week. Hopefully, if I can make everything
Yep.
work. So we're gonna wave now.
Ah.